Oh man, what's going on, friends? I'm just gonna put this right here. This is not cracking, but we are getting cracking today. How's it going, guys? Let me turn my light on. We got some important news. We just got some important news for your Sunday. Getting ramped up for Monday, and let us commence this live stream. You see, there's not a market opening today, so that's unfortunately not what we're ringing the bell. Usually we go bell to bell, and you track the stock market movements along with a data scientist. Now that is me and Professor Meatball over there. That doesn't mean that we are any wrinklier-brained individuals than you guys. It just means that we have had one or two more turns around the block, and we would like to share these bananas with you. If you guys are also looking forward to getting some tendies, getting some nanners, then you guys are in the perfect place. What's up? Good morning. We got Batman still rising. We got J. Alfredo Cervantes, Le Davidson, C. Los, Lacked Throne, Avoxir, Alba Gubrath. We have Comstock Royalty. Whoa, what's up? Vin Nguyen, Mario Vlogs, Johnny Diamond Hands, hashtag David DeGreat, Lil Popstar. Everybody else, give me some scissors in the chat. I appreciate you guys being out here with us this morning. We have some news. We have some news today. All right, let us give the attention that GameStop and GME and AMC so rightfully deserve, just to give them a little look-see up here. So you notice that the markets are not moving. Well, we have the trajectory of these two stocks mapped out last time, yesterday's live stream. We have AMC trending 34 cents downward after closing at $13.93 on Friday, and we have GameStop trending just $1 downward after closing at 200 and change on Friday. Okay. Yo, Reese Beats, what's going on? Yo, kid. Hey, good to see you. Glad to see you out here. So let us make it a important note about we have hedge funds are screwed. Hedge funds are screwed. And we are gonna go and take a look at what that is all about. It's about just the number of lawsuits against the hedgies. Oh, this is from 12 months ago. This is from last year. Let me press that search button. There we go. Search. Hedge funds are screwed. Show results from our GME. And then here we go. Wait. TD from a couple of days ago, this past week. We got, man, I'm on vacation, Gore-Tex hoarder, and I wish I saved the 1K and stayed home. And you can have some more buying power. Is that what it is? Hey, it's a good time to say I have absolutely no financial advice for you. There is no financial advice because I am not a financial advisor. And now that that's very clear and out of the way, me and Meatball are here to be able to tell you just a little bit more about what you should look out for. One of the things you should notice is that I want to sync my indicators. Hello. Let me get my indicators out here. Where are my indicators at? Back to the indicators, edit indicators. Yeah, they're all on. GME is just being a little naughty right now. Done. Oh yeah, it's just being a little naughty. They're all GME now. Well, it's the thing with WeBull gods, they giveth and they taketh. If you guys had ticker suggestions today, usually we have very little time during the day to cover any kinds of research on stocks. But today we're going to cover basically step by step how to research some stocks, as well as the war plan for AMC and GME moving forward. So if you guys have any questions specifically about your ticker symbols, go ahead. I want to see those suggestions. And finally, if you guys had questions about what happened last week, we had a lot of explanations, clarifications, and stratagems for next week as well as for last week. And let us see if you guys have any other follow-ups from there. BlackRock Bag Holders Inc. That's something that's really interesting. Crucial missing piece and the trading mechanics of how they're going to purchase real shares and multiple times and over and over in order to cover their SI. And then I guess, let's see. GME options for April 16th are absolutely nuts. So this is the options chain. As you guys know, it's all the snow on the ground to control what the gamma squeeze looks like. It looks like that the April 16th in 27 days is absolutely nutso. I know you guys hate it, but I'm going to say it. March 31st is the next spike, and here is why. Okay, let's see. Is this DD any good? Not super sure. Okay, let's look at that options chain. That option chain looks actually really cool. Let's see. Yeah, I timed him out, but instead I'm just gonna hide him, I think. There we go. Rocket Monster says, I think GME goes crazy pre-earnings. FOMO if they are good with positive news on the restructure, potential squeeze trigger. Now, the thing about the GME earnings is that has been theoretically part of the plausible deniability narrative, let's say. If these long whales know the hedge fund tricks, then they should be able to figure out exactly what to do to be able to squeeze the stock close to the end of March, where everything comes to a close. It's the end of Q1, it's the end of the month, and a lot of movement is going to be happening. If they can figure out how to make that squeeze, then the plausible deniability of having a positive earnings is excellent, because then they won't be able to be investigated for some shenanigans, and that is the T right there. Okay, so what I want to do is I want to be able to duplicate this, and then I'm going to have WeBull. There we go. And then I want to be able to look at this. And then I want to be able to move this around. Okay, so the options are, whoa. Wish I locked that. Options are nuts. Sweet. Is this it? Oh, okay. Okay. Dylan R says, are synthetic shares created by a company attached to them? And if they do a share recount, will they know who has to buy back and destroy those shares? Synthetic shares, if you're talking about synthetic longs, that's slightly different than synthetic shorts, or counterfeit shorts. So if you do a share recount, then you're going to have to see that the synthetic shorts, the ones that are not accounted for, because someone sold a share that they didn't have and they didn't match to someone else. That is going to be what is unaccounted for. And since that's a debt, like basically they owe that share to someone else, then yes, you will be able to see exactly who made that. There are some clarifications and important things to note in that sense, but let's take a look at this. GME options for April 6th is absolutely nuts. They were scanning GameStop options over the last 4 weeks, sorting by various numbers. When they selected open interest, they were met with some very interesting information. So they need to eat more wax fruit to unlock options math level 2. And the 50-cent strike. So is this for AMC? $30 strike. Yeah, this is for AMC. Just to make sure. Otherwise, is this another stock? It's GME or AMC? $30? So this is for GME? Oh, it is for GME. Okay. Wait. 50-cent strike? 3 million? $10 strike? This is way lower than what GME is at right now. So $30 strikes. So people are saying that it could be that some people are expecting that GME is going to tank. Or what do you think about this? Puts go out of the money and calls print. Hedge funds make fat. Dollar, dollar, dollar. Okay, so this might be some FUD. Or this might be some interesting development about what whales are thinking of and how to cash in big. Let's see what this one is saying. Back to this. Whoop. Show my face. They are purposely preventing us from reaching our all by mass downvoting everything. Okay? Feels like you should just be careful when we are doing research here. Oh, my dad who was anti-GME bought his first share today. Okay, that's very nice. If you guys are wondering what we're doing, we're going to cover some of the research that we should already know, such as how BlackRock is one of the big bag holders now. And then we're going to go into the technicals of learning about the ticker symbols that you guys want to see. Okay? Let's see. Cat calling your put. Have GME free float and shares outstanding went down, or has it been sitting at 54 million, 69 million? Nice. The entire time. I feel like it's been 134, but I may be confusing with another stock. I think you might be. Let's see. It's the third Friday of the month, so no wonder that there is a lot. Fair enough. Too long didn't read. BlackRock is operating in a shadow market with Citadel and Bridgewater Associates, or dark pool market. The three are contributing to the greatest market manipulation of all time, and the head of the snake, Citadel, is beginning to flail. I believe that Citadel shorted the majority, if not 100%, of the BlackRock's GME portfolio, in addition to other highly shorted stocks, leaving BlackRock to hodl the bag. Ooh, interesting. Oh, this is long. This is long. This is kind of interesting. Okay, this could be its own video about. So this is some BlackRock. Too long didn't read. Fighting against each other, and Citadel, Bridgewater Associates, and BlackRock are pitting it out. This is like some anime boss fight, next level stuff. So this is coming up next. Then a crucial mission piece, the trading mechanics of how the hedgies are going to purchase real shares multiple times in order to cover 200% to 600%. But too long didn't read. Two main gaps of information missing in this subreddit. What is the forcing mechanism by which clearing corporations ensure that shorting hedge funds, SHFs, right, actually return the shares they've borrowed to the entities who lent the SHFs for them to short? And two, where is it written that the SHF's interest payments will become so high that it becomes cheaper to buy shares, igniting the short squeeze rather than continuing to pay interest? This is actually a pretty long one too. The mechanics of the mother of all short squeezes. There's a lot of funky formatting, but this is still good information. Missing gap of knowledge number 2. Didn't sell them back to the SHFs. Too long didn't read. Okay, we already read that. Too long didn't read. Let's see. Yeah, the GME share recount. So we are going to cover that in just a second. Jen's 1988. Hey, is it not inevitable that the share callback prior to the GME annual meeting will trigger the mother of all short squeezes, if not yet squazzled? That is, if the share callback does happen, that is going to be able to uncover it's going to be one of the catalysts, right? It's going to be able to uncover synthetic shorts, right? So that is the amount of shares that you have purchased that it actually don't belong to anybody. They just borrowed a share, a sell from the future, and they didn't find someone to be able to get it to yet. This is also called a counterfeit short, or a naked short, right? These are all the numbers that we have to be able to explain just how suspicious this activity is, and if it's not done maliciously, then it's perfectly legal as of right now. It's just to fight against the asynchronous nature of the market. Right now you have to do this, and I want this right now. I want my money and I need it now. And so if that is the case, yeah, the market makers and larger institutions can just take a share that they don't have, that they have plausible likelihood to be able to get, and they can just pluck it out of thin air. Sorter says, Andy Mo is my base stonk army general. We hodl. I'm not a general army general. However, if you want to be, this video is brought to you by my Patreon. So go ahead and those of you who have already smashed that like button, 300 people, 2,000 viewers? That math doesn't make sense, unfortunately. My brain is hurting from the amount of math we have to do to make that make sense. Smash that like button, guys, to help other apes find this video. And most importantly, hit that subscribe button and notification bell if you haven't yet. And finally, if you want to be a general of the Moon Platoon, the Mo Monkey Army, go ahead and click the Patreon link in the description or pinned in the live chat right there. Okay, so let's see. Oh, Deirdre says, I want to take my dog on the most awesome vacation ever. Tell me more about that. Today is the great day to be able to tell me exactly what you're going to do with your attendees, win the GME and AMC moons. What exactly are you going to do? Let's see. So I would like my chart to stop being so annoying. Let's look at some news from the mainstream. It's important to, even if you don't trust the mainstream news, it is important to be able to fully understand what people are saying so that you can be able to build out a little bit of the like know-how here. Whoa, that was scary. The tech-heavy NASDAQ composite has fallen in recent weeks and remains down 7% from its high about a month ago. So this is Jim Cramer, Mr. Naysayer, and Mad Money host. Stocks are joined at the hip with the bond market now. GameStop, Adobe. Q4 earnings release, aftermarket conference call, 5 p.m. Projected EPS $1.35, and then projected revenue $2.21 billion. The Bulls hope to learn on this call more about Ryan Cohen's plan when the company reports, and if there's anything good about these results, well, I expect to see a ton of buying the next day. Thank you, Cobren, for the super. And then let me just click on this. You guys are going to be hearing the earnings report live here. Trying to make sure that I know how to do this. Earnings. Ooh, baby. So this is the GameStop official website. I know you guys can't see it all, but this is Yahoo Finance. So it's one of the ways to be able to get a good amount of information here. Also, if you are looking for the specifics of what GME is trying to beat in terms of its earnings and what it's likely going to be projected to come out as, the more important part of that call is what Ryan Cohen is going to say. And then finally, I actually get to learn a little bit more about what his voice sounds like, and maybe he'll even, I don't know, show us a picture. Maybe he'll be like eating some dog treats. Well, he's a very exciting man. Oh man, Tyler Wilson investing. What's going on, my man? My name's Jeff. No options betting outside USA, only under FCA ruling, according to my broker. Yeah, USA, you are very privileged to be able to have options. If you haven't had an opportunity to learn about options yet, planning on a whole educational course around options. So let me know if you guys want to see that. Diamonds in the chat if you want to see that options course. Okay. I'm about to start reading this BlackRock bag holders, but I also want to be able to do a little bit more charting. Is there any more news that we haven't yet covered? The GameStop, faith in small caps, investors love electric cars. That has nothing to do with GameStop. New stock influencers have huge and devoted followings. Ooh, okay, interesting. Ooh, Wall Street Journal. Okay, I can't read that. Chamath Papapally and his rise as a FinTwit influencer. Ooh, okay, this is not directly related to GameStop, but Papapally was one of the big voices behind pumping up GameStop in the beginning. So he has an army of retail traders. Yeah, this is just how to become an influencer with Twitter. Stock twit influencer, Papapally. Okay, I think we're almost done here. We're going to focus up and read maybe this person's highly, like, weirdly formatted but numbered list of things that he wants us to cover. There is also DD on WallStreetBets that I want to cover in just a second. GME, possible Tesla-like short squeeze, DD. Is GME Tesla? That's kind of an interesting question. Is GME Tesla? In the comments of yesterday's post, GME graphs and shorts. See if these pictures are any good. Oh boy. So, oh, this is just literally someone printed out a picture and then they just drew all over it. Tesla graph. Is it similar? Unknowns. Okay, let's read about BlackRock. BlackRock Bag Holders Inc. Edit. FMR is Fidelity. I've updated this below. And edit 2, removed must investment because they paper-handed in January's peak. So too long didn't read. BlackRock is operating in the shadow market with Citadel and Bridgewater Associates. BlackRock Bag Holders Inc. This is just an interesting title. Okay, so if you guys want to be able to see that. Let's see. Harry Lewington says, I have a feeling Mark Cuban is invested in Mana Crypto. Decentraland is a VR game like Second. If you remember it, please take a look and might link to GME. Take a look into the Mana Crypto. Sure. Let's see. Deirdre says you're great for sifting through these and telling us whether or not they're sus or not, and that's the game, guys. We're gonna have to be able to use our brains here. We're gonna have to open them up. There's just so much research to sift through, and we're here to be able to actually explain the ones that are not completely sus. Oh boy. So this one, I'm sus as heck about. Tesla squeeze, I'm a little sus about too. This one I'm just overly cautious about. I don't want it to be like a sounding board, because we're not here to be like an echo chamber. We're here to be able to learn a little bit more about what exactly is happening here. Oh yeah, Rickards, what about that institutional buyer that contacted me? Let us read his email. Let us read his email, because that was some interesting mail that I got from that institutional buyer. So this is from Kevin Bate 88. Quite interesting. Gosh, how much of this can I show? Because I won't show any of his email. But so let's give it a shot. Oh wait, hold on. I need this to actually be okay. Well, I'll just read one passage from this email. So this person is he sent me a picture on a terminal. I showed you guys this last time, and it says, "Hello, Andrew." So this is already very legit, as it turns out. He says, I'm the director of a qualified institutional buyer. And then he says a little bit about my background. Before banking includes being the principal of a cybersecurity consultancy. I am heavy cryptocurrency investor, hashtag Team HODL, due to my past interest being researching and developing custom in-house quantum-resistant ciphers for cryptocurrencies I have created. The next part, so if I'm not sus of this person quite yet, then this next part makes me a little sus, which says, I asked him what is Threema, because he said you should contact him on Threema or Signal. Threema is an app that I reviewed professionally on both this code and the corporate structure standpoint. It's far more secure than Signal, in my professional opinion, due to its regularly published audits, non-reliance on Google Apps, and open discourses. And then this next paragraph is about his email name, which is a concerned Canadian investor, because he talks about how he loves to blow the whistle. And then finally, this paragraph that really got me sussed out is, do you only trade in GME shares? I have very little interest in owning actual GME shares after my research, but I am still long the company. Are you getting paid by someone to hype the stock? Vlad and Andrew Citron are pretty normal people in real life, if you knew them. So sorry that I don't know Vlad personally. So if you guys are just joining, we are talking about Kevin Bate 88. Hey, he is still more than welcome to come on the show. I'm probably going to have to vet him a little bit more because his last paragraph says, as you can see, I am a very unusual person. If you wish to continue chatting, my Threema ID is blankety blank. Otherwise, I wish you best of luck in your endeavors against the elite. I think that's code for I'm not going to respond to any more emails, but you must meet me on this app that I have professionally vetted so that I can possibly, scam you, maybe. So very sus, very scary. I wonder why everything just moved. I need to learn exactly what makes these things move. But yeah, highly sus. What do you guys think? Let's put some scissors for sus and some diamonds if you guys think that we should have him on the show no matter what. Blows the whistle. He's hitting on you, Andrew. No, Stellar Blue. No. Oh, man. Hello, Andrew. Was very Silence of the Lambs. Oh, man. Let's see. Tyler Wilson Investing. I wish I could see your link, but I cannot. Darn it. Seems legit. Says Happy Feet. It's because I did a creepy voice for him, but I'm not sure exactly if it's legit or not. That's why I'm asking you guys. Here's a free copy of this game I'm developing. Okay, they're just pumping their game somehow. They got all the way up here. Important buried GME DD. Riddle me this, Batman. Naked short selling. The truth is much worse than you've been told. Ooh. Uh-oh, that's gonna get me demonetized for sure. And that's why I don't... that's why I get worried about this. Scissors. Everyone's have scissors for sus. Call me Edward Scissorhands, baby. Banana Moon. So let's see. So that is that convo. Yes, so we are going to focus up. The problem with the link here is that the lawsuits against the hedge funds was a DD on here yesterday, and it's not here anymore. So if you guys have it, send them over because you know what? Hold on, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna cover this. And now I'm going to look at my Instagram just in case some of you have sent me that link about the legal troubles. Because either it got deleted or something else. Something more dastardly. David Sandu. Whoa, welcome to the Gorillionaire tier. That is awesome. Thank you for joining as a general of the Meatball Army. Yes, very nice. Let's see. Rickard says, Threema from Switzerland is very safe to use, though open source on the client side. We in Germany know that app well. Okay, well in that case, I will just go and check it out in Threema then. Seems legit. You should send him your credit card number as well. Sweet. Okay, in that sense, I will open up Threema and talk to him because he sent me his Threema ID. So, legal troubles. I'm gonna open up my Insta. Robinhood Engineering, debunking misinformation. Yes, you own your shares. Ooh, now that's kind of interesting. Thank you for sending that. 1 minute from the rest of my life. Oh, here's deep yellow uranium. So we could look at that. Right now, I'm currently looking for the legal trouble of DD that for some reason I cannot find anymore. So if you guys know where it is, the Hive Mind, activate. Send it over to Instagram at AndrewMoMoney right here. Oh, what's going on? Hey, David, you just joined as a Gorillionaire and now you're dropping fat supers. Hey man, love watching you, Matt, and sometimes Bruce. GME and AMC have caused so much pain and happiness in my life. Would love to share some of that with you sometime. Much love, brother. We share in the happiness now. We're sharing the pain later, my friend. Sharing the pain later. Okay. Brad Ray says, you are a machine. Great week ahead. Appreciate your hard work. I appreciate you as well. So that BlackRock story, it's about to come. We're going to do that BlackRock story, but I just want to be able to find that legal troubles. It's the article is called Hedge Funds Are Screwed. Let me just search are screwed. And then maybe from the past 24 hours. GME and the prisons loan. I'm almost sure that it's from our GME is the issue. Almost 2,400 of you and 600 likes. That math is starting to check out, guys. Got to get those two numbers up to the same place. Hedge funds are screwed. Okay, so I think it's because our GME is having some trouble right now taking care of the shenanigans that it's currently in. So people are saying that posts are getting destroyed. Wow, it's not even letting me search right now. GME hedge fund. Oh, here. Hedge funds are screwed and price target due to government intervention. No, that's not it. Why hedge funds are screwed economics. Oh, jeez. Okay, well, let's do the BlackRock video first. And then we have the how the truth is much worse than you've been told about the naked short selling. That's kind of interesting. Let's see. This article's hard to find. I think it's because there's some effery going on. David Sandu says, oh, I forgot to mention Trey. Love watching him as well. So, solo shout out to him too. Haven't reached his channel yet, but I am slowly getting there. Thank you, David. The internet is a large place, so there you go. It's called Breaking News. Melvin Capital is screwed. Thank you. Melvin. Aha, there we go. Okay, good. Phew, I don't know why that was so hard to find. Okay, so after a long time, we have breaking news. Melvin Capital is screwed. We have 11 different law firms being suing Melvin and undisclosed parties. So let's cover this real quickly. Okay. Thank you guys for bearing with me, and boom, let's get going. Hey, have you ever been in so much legal trouble that you just need to call this number right here? Just kidding, I'm not a lawyer, nor am I a financial advisor, but what I can tell you is that Melvin Capital and other unknown associated parties, they are done for. They are really in some serious freaking water, and that water is hot. So Melvin and other undisclosed parties are being sued by not one, but 11 different law firms for preventing the squeeze from squozing. We're not talking about simple violation here. We're talking about one of the biggest judicial gangbang of our lifetimes. Here is the PDF pages with the lawsuits, and you guys know it. I'm gonna add this to the description below. This is crazy, right? Because originally we were just little apes tapping away on our keyboard, and we are going to talk about not only this specific DD, very short, just this long, and then we are going to be also talking specifically about what kind of illegal activities have been brought up during the GME hearing. And we're going to do it in the shortest amount of time. The only thing I ask of you is to smash that like button because, you know, it helps the YouTube algorithm search for other Moon Platoon Mo monkeys to send this video out to, and the subscribe button because, you know, it's just a fun button to make sure that you start investing in yourself. Melvin and other undisclosed parties are being sued by not one, but 11 different law firms for preventing the squeeze from squozing. Page 45, we have the Hawk, Rose, Sherpa, and filed on the 22nd of February. Thank you, Oliver. 38 firms are one filing, date filed the 2nd of February, the number 2. We have date filed the 29th. So that was basically the day that shenanigans started happening on Robert's Tate. And then January 28th, the day basically around that time, I started becoming a bag holder around that time. Time flies, guys. 2 law firms, 1 filing, working together, the tag teaming. It's kind of like a team of highly trained members, and this one is just 2 of them working at the same time. And then we have 1 filed on the 4th, another 1 filed on the 4th, and finally 1 filed on the 1st. So these citations include, but are not limited to, the following. The complaint alleges that Melvin Capital Management LP, along with other market participants, conspired to limit trading of certain securities, which resulted in monetary damages to the plaintiffs. Melvin Capital Management LP believes that the allegations in the complaint are without merit. Furthermore, Melvin Capital is being accused of violating or committing violating the Sherman Act, tortious interference with contractual relationships, Donnelly Act, violations of State Antitrust Act, Civil Conspiracy, and Cartwright Act. Justice will be served. Let's see, from this user, if you search for the first lawsuit mentioned, United States District Court, Eastern District of New York, case 121, you will find the list of defendants contains none other than Citadel. From full list of the case and link, Ally Financial, Alpaca, Cash App, Square, oh wow, they're all coming in here, E-Trade, Free Trade, oh wow, Robinhood, there it is, and where is that Citadel over here? Is this in alphabetical order? I cannot count. E-Trade, I'm assuming it's going to be like right here. Nope. Citadel right here. Citadel Enterprises Americas. Isaac Sains. GME will crash the market when it hits 1 million. Citadel can't back it up. Crypto is the future. Thank you, Isaac. Let's see. Let's check page 17 of that PDF. Plaintiffs bring this action for damages and injunctive relief on behalf of themselves and all others similarly situated in a class action pursuant to Rules 23A, B2, and B3. Federal Reserves of Civil Procedure on behalf of the following cases. All persons or entities in the United States that directly purchase securities in GME, AMC, American Airlines, Bed Bath & Beyond, blah, 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 Castor, CTRM, and all these people from one of the defendants from between January 1st through and until the anti-competitive effects of defendants' unlawful conduct cease. So this is essentially, you guys are all now part of this lawsuit. Congratulations. Yay. Congratulations. This is now your thing as well. All persons or entities in the United States that placed an order after the close of the market on January 27th, 2021 to purchase securities in GameStop, blah, 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 from one of the defendants, but that order was canceled or otherwise not filled due to the anti-competitive effects of defendants' unlawful conduct. And if that's you as well, double congratulations. Yeah, you are part of this lawsuit as well, once again, or maybe double the time of this lawsuit. So one of the most important things that I want you guys to come away with in this video is that what they've been doing has been, in a way, stealing a car and then saying, hey, I'm going to give it back in just a second. I have a good chance of giving it back in the right amount of time, and even if I don't, then I will, have to obey the law then. I don't have to obey the law now, because you guys know me. We can work together. That is how the American markets work right now, with naked shorts and synthetic shares, right? These are just asynchronous promotions of, hey, if I don't have the share I want to sell right now, I could just sell it now and then find it later. So that is what all the failure to deliver nonsense that you guys have been hearing about. That is how the hedge funds have been able to slide through all of these shenanigans. But that's not even what the point of this case is. The point of this case is for the people that were unable to purchase from those brokers that even in Congress, they said when Robinhood could not have enough capital to get the clearinghouses off their back, that was a red herring, that was an excuse. Even Alexis Goldstein, one of the testifying witnesses, specifically told Congress that she doesn't believe that Robinhood was actually using that excuse with genuineness. Wait, so Robinhood, you are in a lot of trouble. You are being suspicioned. There is suspicion that you are using contract for differencing, even though that is something that they have denied. There is conflict of interest in using payment for order flow, and there's also conflict of interest between Citadel's sister branches, right? One Citadel and Citadel Securities working together in tandem. How can they be regulated and working in tandem at the same time? These are just a couple of the illegal activities that were brought up in GameStop's hearing on Congress, the second time, of course, both of which and the Senate hearing were live streamed on my channel. So if you guys have not yet hit that subscribe button, we are here to learn about what these shenanigans are, how they're going to be affected in court, and whether or not that causes a catalyst to Tendy Town. If you guys like this video, make sure to like it, and onwards we go to more knowledge. See you in space. So back to it. Whoa, I forgot to talk about these guys. These guys are really, really cool. I really appreciate them. You can join by pressing the join button next to the subscribe button, or the Patreon button. Okay, so now we're going to go back here. One of the things that I want to be able to note is that so that's the legal trouble, and what we want to be able to understand now. Naked short selling, the truth is much worse than you have been told, but I want to be able to cover some of the supers you guys talked about a second ago that I might have missed. Wow, so this is actually really comprehensive. Too long didn't read. Rocket, rocket, rocket. Okay, so at least we understood that too long didn't read here. This is some interesting stuff. JL says, look at GameStop Insta. Sure. Damian Gilbert says, big negative news on the Revolut app. Okay. And then Isaac Sains talked about... Isaac Sains, are you Chris Sains' brother by chance? What's up, YouTube? If you guys want to get some free stocks, then go ahead and check out the link in the description for your WeBull app. Okay, so... What am I doing? GameStop? GameStop's Instagram. GameStop's weekly ad 50 minutes ago. What? So this is the GameStop's weekly ad. Monster Hunter Rise, pre-order 326. So is this trying to say that by 326 we're going to be hunting monsters, and the monsters are Citadel? And you know, I'm getting real tired of these cryptic messages, GameStop. Okay, so this is on GameStop's Instagram, and now we're back to actually looking at some news here. What's up, YouTube? Hey Andrew, do I have a Robinhood account? Yes, I do. You should have multiple accounts, right? First of all, keeping a Robinhood account open likely costs them more money than you closing it out. So keeping your Robinhood account open with a little bit of money inside, like a couple of bucks, might actually be detrimental to Robinhood in comparison. However, you should just be able to have multiple ways to access the market. So if you haven't gotten onto your Robinhood account, it's okay. You don't have to transfer. You can just open up a WeBull account with my description link down below, and then you should be able to have multiple ways to access the market, which is the point, right? You want to be diversified, not only in your portfolio, but also in just the ways you can access the market overall. What's going on, guys? Almost 3,000 of you in here. We're going to read some naked short selling. Truth is much worse than you've been told. But before that, make sure that you guys have already had a chance to stretch, drink some water, because we have so much more to talk about here. Let's see. Read the caption. What caption? Oh, read the caption. Sorry, my bad. The caption is, GameStop says, it's going to be a monster of a week. Ooh, okay. Boom. I need to be able to use my brain more often. It's going to be a monster of a week. Bam. Matthew Peralta, send your message again. JL says the caption of the GME Insta post is it's going to be a monster of a week. Yeah, next week. It's coming up. The 26th. People have been excited about the 26th for a while. Let me see. I'm just gonna hover here before we go in, because sometimes people there's a little bit of like people want to ask me questions real quick. So let's just vamp a little bit more. But we're almost up to 1,000 likes, guys. What does this little post say right here? Loving these stonks, Andrew. Keep being sharp. If your stream reaches 5K likes, you'll buy another 100 shares this Monday morning, guys. Gotta make sure that this is something that we can do together. Get up that like counter so that we this beautiful man can get his stonks. How many of you are capitalists, guys? If we're playing in the stonk market, you can imagine. You can imagine. Slaying monsters soon. Okay, I think I have read all of the questions, and now we're gonna go straight into it. Man, my nose is stuffy. Okay, let's move into it. Do you think that you can actually understand naked short selling? You think you actually have all the facts? Well, what if I told you that the truth is much worse than you've been told? My name is Andrew. I'm a data scientist here. I am going to talk to you about the massive threat to our capital markets, the free market in general, and fair dealings overall. We have been bashing the idea of naked short selling for a long time. It's the idea that if you want to be able to sell a stock, there are a couple of options. You can either have the stock, just like how you sell normal things. You can't sell a goat without actually having it. You can borrow a stock, as in you go to your neighbor's goat and say, hey, I gotta get your goat for a sec, but I'll give it back. Oh, maybe not the same goat, but I'll give you another goat in the future with some milk. Right? Some interest. You have to pay interest. You have to pay them in order to borrow their goat. And when you get their goat, you can sell it right away. So that's another way to sell a stock. And then finally, there is a way right now in our institutions allow us to be able to sell a goat without having a goat, without borrowing a goat, just with the intention of in the future borrowing a goat. So if that can, oh my God, if that blows your mind already, well, that's what we've been talking about on this channel this whole time. So strap in, and by strap in, I mean take your mouse and move it over to the like button with me now. 3, 2, 1. Click that like button and that subscribe button, that bell button, and now let's get started. No, it's not China. It's a homegrown threat that everyone's been afraid to talk about until now. That fear has now turned into rage. Hordes of new retail investors are banding together to take on Wall Street. That's you guys. They are not willing to sit back and watch naked short sellers funded by big banks manipulate stocks, harm companies, and fleece shareholders. The battle that launched this week over GameStop between retail investors and the Wall Street-backed naked short sellers is beginning of a war that could change everything. It's a global problem, but it poses the greatest threat to Canadian capital markets, great, where naked short selling, the process of selling shares you don't own, thereby creating counterfeit or phantom shares, survives and remains under the regulatory radar because broker-dealers do not have to report failing trades until they exceed 10 days. And if you guys are Canadians, let's get some leaves in the chat. If you got maples, smoke them if you got them. This is an egregious act against capital markets, and it's caused billions of dollars in damage. Make no mistake about the enormity of this threat. Both foreign and domestic schemers have attacked Canada in an effort to bring down the stock prices of its publicly listed companies. In Canada alone, hundreds of billions of dollars have been vaporized from pension funds and regular everyday Canadians because of this, according to Texas-based lawyer James W. Christian. Christian and his firms Christian Smith and Jewell LLP are heavy hitters in litigation related to stock manipulation and have prosecuted over 20 cases involving naked short selling and spoofing in the last 20 years. It seems like the narrative of Canadians fighting bad players in the market has been a trend. If you guys have followed the show, Kevin Bate 88 is a principal of an investment, like large whale investment firm, and he has been in talks with me to come on the show and talk to you guys a little bit about his thoughts. So Canadians, they know how to blow that whistle. Hundreds of billions have been stolen from everyday Canadians and Americans in pensions funds alike, and this has jeopardized the integrity of Canada's capital markets and the integral process of capital creation for entrepreneurs and job creation for the economy. So let let us actually talk about what is the naked short selling modus operandi. In order to legally sell a stock short, traders first locate and secure a borrow against the shares they intend to sell. A broker who enters such a trade must have assurance that his client will make settlement. And here's the idea here, is that you go and get someone's goat before you sell it. You can't just sell a goat that doesn't exist. Oh no, yes you can. Yeah, that's what we're going to talk about in just a second. While long sales mean that the seller owns the stock, short sales can either be covered or naked. A covered short means that the short seller has already borrowed or has located or arranged to borrow the shares when the short sale is made, right? My neighbor Rolf is the goat that I'm going to be selling. His goat is the one that originally belonged to him, and now instead of a goat, he owns a piece of paper that says I owe him a goat. That's the transaction. Whereas a naked short means the short seller is selling shares that does not own and has no arrangements to buy. Right? Essentially, this is stealing the car. I have a car that I need to sell. I steal your car to sell it, and then I say, hey, I don't know whose car this is. I didn't arrange with you to make this trade, but I have a plausible likelihood that I'm gonna be able to find whoever's car this owns, whoever owns this car. The seller cannot cover or settle in this instance, which means that they are selling ghost or phantom shares that simply do not exist without their action. When you have the ability to sell an unlimited number of non-existent phantom shares in a publicly traded company, you then have the power to destroy and manipulate the share price at your own will. Ooh, the power, the infinite stock glitch. That's actually a pretty good way to talk about this. This is the title of the video now, the infinite stock glitch. And big banks and financial institutions are turning a blind eye to some of the accounts that routinely participate in these illegal transactions because of the large fees they collect from them. These institutions are actively facilitating the destruction of shareholder value in return for short-term windfalls in the form of trading fees. They are a major part of the problem and are complicit in aiding these accounts to create counterfeit shares. Dun, dun, dun. Counterfeit shares is actually one of the ways you can refer to a naked short, and as surprising as that is, it shouldn't be that surprising because it just sounds sus as heck. Okay, so in that sense, we are continuing on and reading the here. So the funds behind this, let me scroll down a little bit. Counterfeit shares. The funds behind this are hyper sophisticated and know all the rules and tricks needed to exploit the regulators to buy themselves time to cover their short positions. According to multiple accounts from traders, lawyers, and businesses who have become victims of the worst in this game, well, short sellers sometimes manage to stay naked for months on end in clear violation of even the most relaxed securities laws. Can you imagine if you stole a car and the cops are like, well, he's going to give it back. It might be a couple months by now, but he's going to give it back for sure soon. The short sellers and funds who participate in this manipulation almost always finance undisclosed short reports, which they research and prepare in advance before paying well-known short selling groups to publish and market their reports, often without any form of disclosure to broad audiences in order to further push the stock down artificially. There's no doubt that these reports are intended to create maximum fear amongst retail investors and to push them to sell their shares as quickly as possible. This is market manipulation, plain and simple. Plain and simple market manipulation. You guys are hearing it here, right? This is, we cover some bullish theories, right? Like when we talk about 10K, 100K for GME, we talk about, strange, suspicious theories like what if there is a conspiracy, but this is no conspiracy, right? This is absolutely just fact. This is the equivalent of selling a car, selling a house, selling something that has a lot of value that you do not know infinitely, right? You do not own this thing that you are selling, and yet you get to sell it because you have the plausible likelihood to find this thing in the future. Their MO is to short weak, vulnerable companies by putting out negative reports that drive down their share price as much as possible. This ensures that the shorted company in question no longer has the ability to obtain financing, putting them at the mercy of the same funds that were just shorting them. After cratering the shorted company's share price, the funds then start offering these companies financing, usually through convertibles with a warrant attachment as a hedge or potential future cover against their short. And the companies take the offers because they have no choice left. Rinse, and repeat. Wow, that's some actual mafia stuff. In addition, actual like mobster stuff, right? In addition to the foregoing madness, brokers are often complicit in these sorts of crimes through their booking of client shares as long when they are in fact short. This is where the practice moves from a regulatory gray zone to conduct worthy of prison time. Naked short selling was officially labeled illegal in the US and Europe after the 2008-2009 financial crisis. Making it illegal didn't stop it from happening, however, because some of the more creative traders have discovered convenient gaps between paper and electronic trading systems, and they have taken advantage of those gaps to short stocks. So it gets even more sinister. Wow, this is starting to become like an actual plot twist book. Very scary, and I'm glad you guys are staying tuned until the end here. According to Christian, global working groups coordinate their attacks on specifically targeted companies in a mafia-like strategy. Journalists are paid off along with social media. What was that? That was scary. Journalists are paid off along with social media influencers and third-party research houses that are funded by what amounts to a conspiracy. Together, they collaborate to spread lies and negative narratives to destroy a stock. At its most illegal, there is an insider trading element that could enrage regulators. Oh, thank you for the super. The MO is to infiltrate a company through disgruntled insiders or lawyers to close to the company. These sources are used to obtain insider information that is then leaked to damage the company. Often, these illegal transactions involve paying off informants. Journalists, influencers, and researchers are difficult to trace because they are made from offshore accounts that are shut down once the deed is done. Likewise, the shorts disguised as longs can be difficult to trace when the perpetrators have direct market access to trading systems. These trades are usually undetected until the trades fail or miss settlement. At that point, the accounts will move to the position to another broker-dealer and start the process all over again. So if you wanted to be a supervillain that controls the markets with an iron fist, this is exactly the game plan of how you can get that done. The collusion widens when brokers and financial institutions become complicit in purposefully mislabeling shorts and longs, sweeping the illegal transactions under the rug and off of regulatory radar. Spoofing and layering has also become pervasive techniques to avoid regulator attention. Spoofing, as the name suggests, involves short sellers creating fake selling pressure on their targeted stocks to drive prices lower. They accomplish this by submitting fake offerings and layers at different prices to create a mirage. We've talked about this briefly in the past, but there is a holistic definition of spoofing and layering. Finally, these bad actors manage to skirt the settlement system, which is supposed to clear on what is called T+2 basis. Now, that is one of the biggest parts of the conversation of the GME congressional hearing. That was huge. That means that any failed trades that must be bought or dealt with within 3 days. In other words, if you buy on Monday, your T or transaction day, it has to be settled by Wednesday. The money and the share has to trade accounts. Fortunately, Canadian regulators have a hard time keeping up with the system, and failed trades are often left outstanding for much longer periods than T+2. These failing trades are constantly being traded to reset the settlement clock and move the failing trade to the back of the line. The failures of a centralized system. It seems like this person enjoys the decentralized nature of the blockchain. I wonder if they're going to talk about it soon. According to Christian, it can be T+12 days before a failed trade is even brought to the attention of the Industry Regulatory Organization of Canada. Kind of like the SEC of Canada. Let's see. Prime brokers and banks are complicit. This is one of the Wall Street's biggest profit centers, and fines levied against them are simply a minor cost of doing business. Some banks are getting rich off of naked short sellers. The profits off of this kind of lending are tantalizing indeed. Brokers are lending stocks they don't own for massive profit and sizable bonuses. This layer of what many have now called criminal organization. All right, Vegas, my Vegas friend, I'm gonna add you as a mod for today temporarily. just time out people, don't hide them, please. This layer of what may be as known as a criminal organization is the toughest for regulators to deal with, regardless of the illegal nature of these activities. Prime brokers lend cash accounts shares that are absolutely not allowed to be lent. They lend them to short sellers in order to facilitate them in settling their naked shorts. It's not that the regulators are in the dark on this. They are, in fact, handing out fines left and right, both for illegal lending and for mismarking shorts and longs to evade regulatory scrutiny. The problem is that these fines pale in comparison to the profits earned by these activities. As you know, a slap on the wrist is literally sometimes that. If you stand to make billions of dollars, seriously, that is something that we do not want to deal with here. It's not that the regulators are in the dark on this. They are, in fact, handing out fines left and right, both for illegal lending and for mismarking shorts and longs to evade regulatory scrutiny. The problem is that these fines, I just read this, and banks in Canada in particular are basically writing the rules themselves, recently making it easier and legal to lend out cash account shares. Nor do law firms have clean hands. They help short sellers bankrupt targeted companies through court proceedings, a process that eventually leads to the disappearance of evidence of naked shorts on the bank books. How much has been stolen through this fraudulent system globally is anyone's guess, says Christian, but the numbers begin with T, trillions. The list of fines for enabling and engaging in manipulative activity that destroys company stock prices may seem to carry big numbers from the retail investor's perspective, but they are not even close to being significant enough to deter such actions. The SEC charged Citigroup's principal U.S. broker-deal subsidiary in 2011 with misleading investors about a $1 billion collateralized debt obligation, CDO, tied to the U.S. housing market. Citigroup had bet against investors as the housing market showed signs of distress. The CDO defaulted only months later, causing severe losses for investors and a profit of $160 million. Oh, I'm getting really blurry. Hello? Thank you. Okay. Citigroup paid just $285 million to settle these SEC charges. This is another set of how many times people have paid. Goldman Sachs paid $15 million to settle SEC charges. Charles Schwab paid $8.2 million. The SEC charged two Merrill Lynch entities in 2015. Most recently, Canadian Cormac Securities Inc. Came under SEC's radar. How much money did they pay? According to SEC, Cormac and ITG caused damages to the tune of more than $616 million and mismarked a long when in fact they were short, and on it goes. These are just different ways that these large firms have broken the rules and have paid basically relatively truly a small fine. Bank of Nova Scotia was fined $127 million. According to one Toronto-based Canadian trader that spoke to oilprice.com on condition of anonymity, traders are the gatekeeper for the capital markets and they're not doing a very good job because it's lucrative to turn a blind eye. I think that that's perfectly said right there. Let's go and make sure that we wrap up the naked truth in what he calls our anonymous in what he calls our ominous financial system reality. Tom C.W. Lin, attorney at law, details how millions of dollars can vanish in seconds, rogue actors can halt trading of billion-dollar companies, and trillion-dollar financial markets can be distorted with a simple click or a few lines of code. Every investor and every institution is at risk, writes Lin. The naked truth is this: investors stand no chance in the face of naked short sellers. It is a game rigged in the favor of a sophisticated short cartel and Wall Street gains. The recent GameStop saga is fighting back against the shorting powers, and it's a wonderful thing to see, but is it a futile punch or the start of something bigger? You guys let me know in the comment section down below. What do you guys think about this as the beginning of something large? The positive takeaway from the events of the past week is that the term short selling has been introduced to the public and will surely gather more scrutiny. At the very least, guys, the cycle of putting people down and learning more about how to fix this situation is currently in the works. All right, we are downloading democratization of financial literacy. Let's see. Bloomberg even attempts to victimize Andrew Left's Citron research. Hey, look, Andrew, the person that Kevin Bates knows personally, which amid all the chaos has just announced that it has exited the short selling game after 2 decades. Nothing could be more further from the truth. Short sellers, particularly the naked variety, and are not helping police the markets and rout out bad companies, says Bloomberg. As Bloomberg suggests, naked short sellers are not motivated by moral and ethical reasons, but by profit alone. They attack good but weak and vulnerable companies. They are not the saviors of the capital markets, but the destroyers. Andrew Left may be a casualty, but he is not a victim, nor likely the hedge funds with whom he has been working. There are petitions initiated by change.com. This is quite a long article, so I do want to be able to, one, put this petition in the description down below, and two, be able to try and publish this down a little bit further. Just with his final paragraph, what happens with GameStop next could end up dictating a new form of capital markets democracy that levels the playing field and punishes the mafia-like elements of Wall Street that has been fleecing investors and destroying companies for years. Retail investors want to clean up capital markets, and they might just be powerful enough to do it now. That's a serious wake-up call for both naked shorts and investing public. Viva la revolution, James Stafford, publisher, oilprice.com. So now that you guys have seen a holistic understanding of the true naked truth of the infinite stock glitch, what do you think? Is this fair? Is this how a market should be run? Essentially, by trying to get rid of a little bit of sand in the cogs of the machine, you have essentially given the cheat code of all cheat codes to these hedgies and these other institutions that have already been caught taking advantage of the situation. When we talked about synthetic longs, that documentation in the SEC was all the way back in 2013, right? They knew exactly that this kind of behavior was exactly how to make a pipe bomb, and they told people not to do that. And essentially by mapping this out so early, in essence, they have given us all the ability to see it, but we haven't yet learned it. Now that you have learned it, go ahead, smash that like button so that we can get this out to more apes just like you. Leave a comment about what you think. Is the GameStop saga something brand new, a start of a brand new revolution, or is it something that will fizzle out because this infinite stock glitch is just too difficult to handle? Hit that subscribe button and check out some of the links down below because all of them are chock full of free stocks and goodies, and I will see you in the next one. See you in space. Okay, so, what was happening in the, chat? Yes, I agree. Vegas Chef Andrew, any racist comments against any races are not allowed at all. I have no clue what's going on here. I completely welcome free speech, right? So Vegas Andrew, you have my permission to hide people who are saying anything racist. Because at the end of the day, right? I'm not all about being PC. I'm about being angry too. How can you stand the racists like talking in the chat if we're specifically just trying to get stocks out of the way? So once again, my mods here are supposed to take care of the positivity in the chat, right? If you have free speech, you're more than welcome to say it. But if it comes down to being racist, no, you are done. Okay, so I thought I needed to get rid of some bots earlier. Let me just check again. Let's see. Hold on, I'm just going through it real quick. CO Perez, I appreciate that. So once again, I'm just gonna go read through the chat to see exactly what's going to happen. And then I'm gonna go back and do some of the, some of you are asking about which indicators I care about. I am going to go back into the daily chart and show you guys that beautiful, beautiful cup and handle right above my head. And then I'm going to be able to have a little bit of, wow, there's some real trolls in the chat right here. Okay. Give me a hot sec, guys. Oh, hey, NorCal Life 85, you already know. Mo, fellow Western Chicago, Naperville, Elgin, Algonquin, etc. here. Sub and watch every day. Can I shoot you an email? What's the best way to want to contact me? Dude, for a fellow friend, Chicago subs, go ahead. Actually, you might not even be here anymore. NorCal, here we go. Just this once, you can send me a non-business related email at angimobusiness@gmail.com. However, all the rest of you, there you go. Let's see. Chris G agrees that these fines are nothing compared to what they've cheated out of the system. Correct? Jeez. This is some rough times. Some rough times. Ichiba Senpai says, it looks like you need more mods. You're a modded trays? Alright, you're modded. Whoa, what are you doing? I just said no. This person is saying the N-word multiple times. What is going on? Jorge Rivera. Oh, were you the one that contacted me? I still have 2 mods to add. That's why I'm a little hesitant on how many mods we can add all at once. That's why I'm trying to be a little cautious here. Let's see. Aw. Does the cup and handle really work in this volatile situation? It's following every single depiction of the cup and handle. I will talk about that in just a second. Let's see. JD says there's a serious shortage of dogs in the stream today. That's right. Meatball's just hanging out down here. Let me bring him up. He's waiting for the treats. There you go, buddy. You're already modded, I think. No? Okay, yeah. Here. You're right. You're a mod now. Okay, Northwest Indiana here. What's going on? So, BK18 Fandy. What do you think the maximum share price will be for the squeeze dies down? I don't do maximum prices. I just do 80% below what is the possible height. All right, so then the gamma squeeze, the possible height is going to be like 800 up to 4 figures at least. So that's why we've been talking about that for a while. Don't look for maximum height. Don't try to sell on the way up. Right? Not financial advice. Okay. Scrapier says, can you take a pinky winky at CLVS? Heck yeah. Especially if you say it that way. Let's see. So I'm going to have a CLVS is on deck. If you guys, I think it's time to move forward into some ticker suggestions. So if you guys have ticker suggestions, let me know. And then Marshall, hold on. Just making sure. Ichiba says, I'm from Naperville. Oh shit! Sorry! Oh no! I got oh man, so hard to not get demonetized these days. Mr. Ryder, what's going on? Digging through the garden with the girlfriend. Aw, have fun, man. All good. I'm having a bunch of, I just modded 3 more people. Marshall Hagen, hearing a lot of FUD on AMC lately. What's your insight? Also, is CTRM still a good play? Looking at the numbers, we can look at CTRM right after CLVS. AMC, nothing has changed really because the squeeze potential is always there. I'm holding my shares. I wouldn't think that things have suddenly changed because the first of all, the Quadruple Witching Day, now that it's over, all the effects are going to be on next week as well. So there you go. Let's see. You think I'm 18 years old? Huh? Excuse me, meatball. Okay, I'm really close. Someone's from Round Lake. Very cool. Mo money, mo money, mo money! Solo P. Okay, so Pete Freitas. Hold on, wait. I missed another super. 1 sec. Oh, shoot. I missed like a couple of supers. So, hold on. Philip Videnez says, should I sell my Neo at 1K loss and buy more AMC for 5K? I have 902 AMC and will get 375 more positions, or put 5K in GameStop. Which one to choose? So literally I cannot tell you, but what I can tell you about Neo is that they're likely not going to have a reversal until they sell cars, right? And they've been delaying that for a long time. And the thing about AMC and GME is that AMC is now slowly opening up new theaters. That's the catalyst for AMC. And they have now essentially, as of LA opening on Friday, opening up like almost 100% of the theaters. So you can expect them to start making a pretty strong play. And then for GME, earnings report next week. So this is kind of the pivotal point for GME. So that is two different things to choose from. Rocket Monster says, just looked at some AMC calls. The 0.5 calls is 1348 if you execute. You could then sell 1350 calls at 150 gain if, wow, good research. Rocket Monster's coming in with the cold hard facts again. Very nice. Let's see. Pete Freitas says, what's your favorite stock out of AMC and GME? Why? Boy, oh boy. I really like, once again, when I was on Max Meyer's show, I talked about how much I like Palantir in just in terms of being undervalued now. Tesla was always overvalued, but the fact that it is at 650 and just hovering there makes me really want to buy it. So as of right now, I am very bullish on Tesla. And I think that at 650, I may just buy it. I'm gonna do a little more DD though, so don't hold me to it until I just look through a little bit more. Okay, so let's do CLVS and then let's do CTRM. Fort Lauderdale by way of Logan Square. Oh, very cool. Big up from London. Yeah, if you guys have any questions about why is this Glenfiddich case upside down? It's just inverse because everything in this screen is inverse right here. Reese Beats says, oh my, did Andrew say a bad word? Whoops, my bad, guys, I'm sorry. Didn't mean to. Okay. Desert Raider, if you have proof, go ahead and send that to me in Instagram or Twitter, so that I can talk about it. I just don't try to talk about things that aren't substantiated with proof. John says, thoughts on BCRXR and D Day Monday. Yes, so if you guys have ticker symbols, go ahead and let me know. But CLVS, and the first thing I want to do is zoom out a little bit, and then I want to be able to touch up some of the indicators. So these indicators are not, where is the exponential moving average? There we go. So there's just some glitch here. VWAP, come on in here. No VWAP. MACD. There we go. RSI. Excellent. Oh, I can make the RSI at the very bottom. Volume. There we go. Beautiful. Okay. So Clovis. Clovis is looking like, oh, the pandemic hit it pretty hard. There is a little bit of news. I usually try to start with news, but it seems like there's a hard ceiling at $100. This is a mental barrier, but also seems like a solid resistance as well. And this was bounced off at roughly $110 earlier. So that's a declining level of absolute resistance. Up here, it seemed like it was tested at 95, roughly around the same area. So it had an ascending level of resistance up to 120, and then it descended back down to 877. And then back up to 102. The thing here to note is that this was setting itself up to be an impulse wave. If you guys have about Elliott wave theory, this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, this is a macro wave. Every single impulse wave is also set up of sub waves, so you can even zoom in a little bit deeper. One of the things is that this big gap up right here, that's dangerous. One of the big things to remember is that there is basically no, on the daily chart at least, no chance for this to have support on the way down, and exactly as foretold, a breakout about 60 bucks, and this trended downward with this corrective wave A, B, C, all the way down to the same place it broke at, around 60 bucks, right? From there, we expected an impulse wave. We got one. The impulse wave here is pretty crooked. Honestly, it feels like it's consolidating downwards, followed by another one. I would say right now it's strong. It has a strong resistance here at 69. Very nice. So I'm going to add that real quick. It's a horizontal line. And then as we move downward, we notice there's a hard floor at around, wow, this stock has taken a massive beating. Just at like $2. So we see just a massive beating, testing that same support again. Testing that same support, getting supported twice is usually a bullish sign. So that's why when we look at it testing brand new resistances, we are noticing that it is just currently stuck right here between two levels of support and resistance. So this one has been tested multiple times at $2, and this resistance here at $11.29. So what I would say is it looking like a reversal going back to its previous height? No, not as of right now. You can look at the MACD, right? Even when the MACD was able to rise above the signal line, this orange line right here, when it passes above the blue line, it still could not boost the price of the stock more than, let's say, oh, that's actually only 100%, but nowhere near as enough momentum. So it was strongly rejected here once, twice, 3 times. It seems like this is a stock that is going to have a really hard time passing over $11 as of right now. In terms of momentum plays, I would say that the risk reward is more for the risk, less for the reward. I wouldn't try to touch the stock as of right now. However, a good entry point, I would say, is roughly back where it supported earlier at around $5. I would say if you try and enter on $5, you should be pretty safe. And that is CLVS. And we're going to go back to GameStop and AMC soon. CTRM is on the chopping block, and BCRX. BCRX, right? Because I'm having trouble reading your thoughts. Nazmi Ocean says Andrew is rich in happiness and positivity. That is how I am actually rich. Am I rich or am I wealthy? That's the thing right there. I'm rich in friendship. Okay. Thank you, new mods. Your powers are blessed upon you temporarily. Do not abuse them. I'm watching you. But I trust you guys. So Roderick Dobbin says IDEX. Okay. That's on the chopping block. Rocket Monster says, forgot to mention that some of the calls a few weeks out are a few dollars cheaper, increasing gains slightly. Thank you, Rocket Monster, for that clarification. IDEX coming out. Rocco Krupi says, what scotch is that? It's the only 14-year-old Glen I can find in Toronto is Bourbon Barrel Reserve, and it's in a blue tin. This is Glenfiddich. So this is a single malt Scotch whiskey, 14 years, independently family distiller since 1887. It looks like it is a Glen. It is a Glen, but it's not Glenlivet. CLVS has 100% utilization and no short share availability. It's a squeeze stock. Trey is here in the chat. What's going on, Trey? If you do want to come on and have a couple more thoughts about CLVS, Clovis, our friend Clovis and our girl Mavis, if you guys want to have Trey on, totally up to him. He's just coming on and talking about the stonk here. Let's see. Yo, apes. Keep spreading awareness about the fraud. I will clip that video up about the kind of shenanigans that they're up to, and then I will put those out later. I do want to give Trey a chance to come on and talk about Clovis, just in case he wants to. And in about like 30 seconds, I'm gonna move on. Let's see, I'm just going to read a couple more thoughts here. Gorillas in the chat for Trey, guys. Gorillas in the chat for Trey. Okay. I'm surprised. Oh, Trey says, I'm at Burger King. He's having it his way. Oh, man. Trey is having it his way right now. Dang. Oh, that's hilarious. The Falcon says, Andrew, do you have an opinion on blockchain technology in general? In general, awesome, right? Smart contracts, NFTs, obviously the cryptocurrency. These are all fantastic ways to be able to utilize this technology to better markets such as the stock market, right? There are a lot of different ways to be able to make it happen here. Whew, man. Okay. Trey. What sandwich are you getting? Yeah, what are you getting? Are you getting the Impossible Burger? The Impossible Whopper? It tastes a lot like the regular Whopper. So that says something one way or another. Let's show your burgers here. If you guys are waiting, we're not here just to talk about burgers. We're here to talk about stonks. So we have IDEX on deck. Ideanomics. Ooh. That's something I like to see. Brendan says, I just dated myself. BK hasn't used that slogan since the 90s. I was just being memey. I was just telling a meme. Although I do remember that as it's in the commercials. Ichibo says, am I back in Chicago right now? No, I'm in sunny California. Can't get out of here. Can't get out of here. It is the pandemic. Burger King? Sir, this is a Wendy's. Oh, Monkey Bone says Trey is getting the Kraken burger. Ooh. Oh, baby. It's like a Whopper, but double. A whole tray of Whoppers. A whole tray of Whopper. That's good. Okay, and Oliver, ATNF is on deck now. Oh, Trey says Impossible Whopper equals Grass Boy. Whopper equals Beef King. All right, Trey. My man eats meat here. Did I have my meatball sub yet? Yes, I did. If you guys want to see that, I guess what I'll do is I'll release that meatball sub video for my members, because it does creep out everyone else because it is just me eating a Whopper. Sorry, not a Whopper, a meatball sandwich. But in that case, Trey has already seen it. I mean, he's eating the Bacon King because apes need sustenance. Trey, pictures or it didn't happen? Send me a picture on the group chat. Otherwise, I don't believe you. Send me a Burger King picture. If you do, though, I may show it to the live chat. So there you go. All right. So, okay. Bro, look at Josh's pup. Okay, this is important. Right before we talk about IDEX, we do need to look at Josh Hey It's Pixel's pepperoni and cheese. Which account do I use Reddit with? I wish I remember. Yes, it was this one. Phew. Okay. Trey says, hey, I'll take one Bacon King without the beef, bacon, lettuce, tomatoes, sauce, or pickles. What does that leave us with? Just the patty? No, the beef is the patty. What does that leave us with? One Matrix. What did you say? V-Chain. Hold on. Sorry for skipping you. Oh, yeah, here. Can you check Vet V-Train crypto? Walmart, Pepsi, BMW, Starbucks, McDonald's use it. Look at the monthly chart. It's very bullish. Is it on... The problem is it on WeBull? Because if it's not on WeBull, then I can't check it here. Vermilion Energy. Yeah, I can't check crypto here. I'm so sorry. But if you do want to be able to trade your own crypto, BlockFi is the way to be able to do it here. Eric Andres, I did eat a meatball sub live. That was at the end of the lo-fi stream. So once again, if you guys think that those lo-fi streams are just to chill out and listen to some music, yes. But it also is surprise. There's going to be a surprise appearance by me and Meatball at the end of each lo-fi stream. So if you guys chill out, you'll see some of Andrew eating a meatball sandwich there. So there you go. And then they will be gone afterward. So let's do IDEX and then let's do IDEX and then let's do ATNF. So that's the two that we're going to do here. So what we're focusing on right here is a daily chart we're looking at just a big old run up in the last few weeks. Now that let her rip. They had a very similar run up that tested roughly the same resistance at around here, around $4 and around 472. So now a less sophisticated ape might think that this was the start of a cup and handle, and another ape entirely would be like, yeah, I think you're right. This is, you can see here the amount of volume was 87 million, right? Regularly that kind of volume started to massively decrease at the bottom of this handle. So you guys can see here, this is actually a great just a fantastic depiction of what can happen in GME in the future. So you guys see this, and you guys see this, right? Currently, this handle here is testing $1.60. That is on the lid, like 40% down. Or let's say this side of the lid on the left side of the lid of the cup is at $4. So when it got to the bottom of its handle, it was already way past 50% of its handle. So it's not on the upper half, and yet it still saw this massive rip afterward, right? I don't have enough information to see exactly if it is. IDX and CTRM, you're on deck. We are now seeing just a reflection of what could happen with GME, and this is a beautiful thing. You see that right here, this rip right there. Now this rip here, of course, is not guaranteed to survive. However, that means that we have had this ridiculous impulse wave here. Just one, two, three, four, 5, 6, 7. Just 7 subwaves ripping all the way up to $5.46, and just your run-of-the-mill corrective wave here. Corrective wave seems like it is finishing up, so I would be bullish on IDX right now. It seems like that as soon as this signal line is done dancing around the MACD line, it might be time to buy in, depending on how sharply that MACD line crosses over the signal line. I would pay attention to it closely on Monday, especially if the volume begins to pick up again. Okay, so IDEX, and then we're gonna, so that's IDEX, and now we're gonna do ANTF, and then we're gonna do CTRN. Castor Maritime. So ANTF, oh, sorry, it's ATNF. ATNF. 180 Life Sciences. And then we're gonna do CTRM. The bun, says Trey. I want the bun. I'm getting Trey's energy through his chat. That's how like electric that man's energy is. Duck's in the chat too. Matt Core's in the house. Give Meatball a bowl of meatballs and you eat a French dip. I can only give him meatballs if I cook them myself. Otherwise, it's dangerous. Dangerous for dogs to eat human food. Let's see. Ever tried an Italian sausage sub, like a meatball sub, but a badass sausage? Maybe. I don't think so, actually. John Angel Molina says, you are super awesome professional. I definitely love learning from your posts. Thank you, sir. John, thank you. Where's Josh's puppy? Yes, I got distracted. Sorry. I got distracted. Oh! It's so cute. Oh my, he got how many? Okay, Akihiro. Oh, Akihiro. Akihiro. He's the little black puppy here, and he's hanging out with his brothers and sisters. Oh, that's so cute. Oh my goodness. Retweet. I need to log in. I have a brand new computer, so I'm not logged into anything. Andrew Mo Money. Okay, now I'm gonna retweet at him. I'm gonna say, oh no, wait. Quote tweet. This is everything to me in the world. Do I also have to like add him? God, I don't know how to use Twitter. Okay, there we go. So cute. All right, so there's that, and now let's go back to the this ATNF, and then we have CTRM on deck. Alright, so now we saw some doges. If you guys aren't aware, that was Josh Hayes Pixel. He's talked about his dog on the live stream prior, so this is something that... Am I blurry? That's weird. I don't seem blurry on my viewfinder, so that's why. If you guys think I'm blurry, let me know. How's the new laptop specs? Basically the same, except it doesn't have that weird glitch that makes it very loud. And that's everything, basically. ATNF. So we see just a massive sell-off here. Just basically happened in a day or two. Here is the 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th. So that is just one day of selling off after another. Doesn't feel great for its recovery play because it happened exactly one day after another. Now, if it retested that level of resistance, I would feel okay about this being a recovery play. However, when it tested the same resistance twice, and now it seems like it is stuck at that resistance. For Monday, I do not feel that optimistic. Now, let's see if we can have some news. This is all from 180 Life Sciences from the 8th. So this is a week and a half old. Not enough information for me to be able to say definitively that this is on its way up. Now, I noticed that the MACD is above the signal line. However, that might just account for this mini rip from $3.44 to $7.20. So even though it just rose 100%, be careful because it originally dropped from $12 all the way down to $2. That is a drop of 90%. And I don't remember 90% drops unless my name is Bagholder McGee for GME. Bagholder McGee for GME. There you go. So, yep. So as of right now, I would say that this is currently pushing at a previously rejected resistance. I have no reason to believe that it is going to be able to push past this resistance, and your risk reward is just all out of whack. I would say a more likely price to enter is this hard floor at around $2 or this previous support at $3.80. If you did want to be able to catch it on the way down, you should be able to put in $4 as a buy limit. Although I never dabble in buy limits myself, because you never know how the market starts to shape up differently. Jacob Jungle says, I actually got my AMC share from my grandfather years ago, so I have voted before. It's weird. Y'all for this, though. That's pretty funny. Oh, Chris Evans. So let's do CTRM real quick. Chris Evans says... The real Chris Evans is in my chat right now. What's going on, dude? I love your work. Not a banker, just a financial advisor. Not a financial advisor, just curious. Would it be fair to compare naked short selling to fractional lending? At least the downside? Fractional lending? No, it's not really quite the same monster, right? It's not really quite the same beast. I would say the comparison could exist, but yeah, I wouldn't say that there is that much similarity. I would say that it's much more similar to like stealing a car before you go out and actually find a person that owns this car and borrow it from them. You're eventually just gonna have to drive this car around, trying to find the person that it belongs to. So that's the issue here. Puppies in the chat from Meatball says Jasp Hov, very cool name. Captain America is in the chat right now. Okay, CTRM. CTRM is something that has had a relationship with me for a while. We've been talking about CTRM for a good amount of time. They were talking about how it had great squeeze potential, about how this stock was, it's essentially like the shipping stock, right? It's about shipping. 2 days ago, Global News Wires, they announced deliveries of MV Magic Orion. Okay, so it's all about like, it's about the fact that it was a crazy growth story, right? So back in the day, it was trading at a couple of pennies. And before this GameStop madness, it was trading at like, what, 15 cents. And then it saw a rise from 15 cents all the way to $1.90, right? So that was insanity. And they were like, oh, this penny stock actually worked out. There was a inevitable corrective wave here. and then it ended its corrective wave at the exponential moving average. It ended it at 65 cents. So now is the question of, is there another impulse wave after this? Well, if there was, then this impulse would be, the height of this sub-wave is $1, and we don't have no idea how much lower that this wave can go. So here is what I will say. From Elliott wave theory, if this number goes lower than its breakout here at at 76 cents, then this is not going to be an impulse wave. It's just another part of the corrective wave. If it does start to improve on Monday, that might be a good time to get in. However, I would say a more respectable entry price would actually be at the bottom of this corrective wave here, sub 70 cents, I would say, for CTRM. There you go. I'm not feeling super confident on it because I can't tell which side of the wave it's supposed to be for. Seller Door says, you are blurry because you're in the dreams of Meatball. Welcome to Meatball Mo Andrew DogTube channel. I agree. Let's see. Hi Andrew, new ape here, says Chadifi Afifi. Very cool name. Shares remaining to short on the iBorrow desk and GME got an incident on hedge funds. Thanks, man. I love your work. We've been talking about the iBorrow desk incidents for a while. I haven't yet seen like exactly where, like if iBorrow desk's data currently is a reliable source. So that's why I'm a little sus, but at the same time, I'm keeping my eyes open. 25,000 playbacks, only 1,000 and likes and change. Guys, the math does not check out. Smash that like button even on a Sunday, because right up there we have someone that wants to buy 100 GME shares. That is how much money? That's a lot of money. That's $20,000. Oh, Meatball found a treat in my hand. I was holding it down here and he went down and got it. Very cool, Meatball. Michael Lee says, you got in at CTRM at 55 cents. It's your boy. You were sitting pretty. I hope you sold. But at the end of the day, it's all about Tendy juice for the Tendy wars. So BlackRock Bag Holders Inc. is something that I do want to be able to cover. I do think that this is going to be an interesting one. Let me actually look at the hotkeys. So WeBull and then show left, hide left, done. So now I can tab this away. Perfect, love that. And then what else can I do? No, that's it actually. NFTs. Oh, Joe does not like NFTs. Oh no. Let's see. Thank you, Vegas Chef Andrew. Appreciate your modding work. I can't believe all the young YouTubers are still sleeping on BNTX. Okay, fine. It's on deck now. BNTX. Let's see. Oh, Ryan Max says, and what are your thoughts about Hive? If you have the chance to, please, or any other NFT, you might have it be into it at all. So NFTs, if you guys are not aware, is a non-fungible token. What is fungibility? Fungibility is the idea you can trade things 1-to-1. So the US dollar is fungible, but also water is fungible, right? You can change 1 quart of water for another quart of water. It's exactly the same quart of water. And nobody would be that mad if you went into someone's house, replaced a quart of water with your quart of water, and then got out like a bandit. That's fungibility. However, NFTs are, in that sense, unique because every single NFT, or Nifty, sometimes they're called, exists in a encrypted space by themselves. In fact, my roommate, good best friend Hector, just bought his first NFT. It's like an NBA like GIF for like $12. So that was you know, hopefully it might be worth something one day. The way that NFTs work, as far as I know, is very interesting for the art world specifically, because it allows the creator of the art piece, whatever it is, right? It could be music, it could be a picture, it could be a GIF, to be able to earn a 10% commission every time it's sold again. And that's because of the blockchain. You always know who created it and you always know who is selling it. So therefore, that commission can make can incentivize artists to sell their art, even if they're famous artists, at very low prices, because every time it gets sold at higher and higher prices, and they get to keep 10% commission on every single transaction. So that's why NFTs are good for the art community. And they're bad for the environment.
They're not good for the art community either.
Well, it's a way it could be good for the art community.
Artist, it's not.
Ed Rodriguez. Ed Rodriguez says, thoughts on Rolls-Royce if you haven't covered it yet? Sure. Rolls-Royce. Meatball's just chilling on my feet right now. Rolls-Royce, and then we're gonna cover BlackRock Bag Holders Inc., baby. Oh man. Michael Lee says, I think YouTubers are gonna make NFTs blow up, figure out a way to monetize moments. Ooh, that would be really sweet. Feel like when we're raining money in the show, and then that would be a fun GIF. You know, that would actually be pretty cool. Let's see. Are you my wife's boyfriend? Am I? Keith? Is that you? Do I play RuneScape? Not anymore. I could, though, if anybody wants to trim armor. Okay, so let us take a look at Ricey. Rolls-Royce is on this slow bleed. I guess it makes sense, you know. It's one of these companies that exists in a pretty interesting relationship with the pandemic, right? People want to be able to splurge now that the economy is opening up, but is it on Rolls Royces to begin with? Probably not. That's one of the first things to consider as whether or not it is a comeback play. So first of all, this little breakout here, all the way back in when? All the way back in June of 2020. So none of its heights have been actually reached since the pandemic started. So this was back in 2019. It fell off a major cliff at a breakout of $9 in basically where the pandemic started, and it reached its support at $3. So it's down roughly 70%, all the way down to about $3 and change when the pandemic really started taking full force. It's been trading sideways since then, had a small test at $5 roughly back in June of the pandemic, but then just continued to slowly bleed sideways. And that said, I don't have too many high hopes for this becoming a recovery play, and I think the news on Rolls-Royce is what makes it so hot these days. Medium-term ambitions underpinned by vaccine approvals. Okay, so Rolls-Royce raises target to 100p from 45p. So that's something that we want to be able to consider, is that there is a tension. Perception is one of the most important parts. I don't like the skip from $3.50 all the way down to $1.40. That's down a total of 60% on your portfolio. If you thought that the exponential moving average was trending downwards and you were afraid that it would have like minor downward movement, this skip would have probably scared you a ton. Now it's just been trading sideways, and finally is it up on its breakout from a couple of days ago back in February to $1.30 and now to $1.60. I honestly don't see that this this might be the lowest it can possibly go, which is why people are thinking that it is the recovery play when the pandemic starts opening up. However, it's hard to say whether or not this is going to be one of the first companies that's going to actually see that recovery. It has been rejected multiple times at $2.40, although that is still 50% up. People are probably banking on the fact that Rolls-Royce cannot go under because of its brand recognition and just the fact that other companies would snatch it up immediately, kind of like Volkswagen and the Porsche incident. So one over here, your risk is relatively essentially nothing. You could lose 30 cents on $1.60. You could lose up to like 20%, but that seems to be a hard floor for Rolls-Royce with a relatively low ceiling of $3.60. So this could be a great recovery play. I'm actually getting a little interested in Rolls-Royce myself now. And Daniel James says, I'd like to suggest Apocalypse game of D&D. That would be fun to watch. I would also like that. Depends on whether or not I can teach the other Holdeman how to play D&D. Fuzzy G182. If you have any interest in NFTs, you need to research Engen. It's basically making Ready Player One a reality. Engencoin.io. Its ticker is ENJ. Okay, I will do some research on the back end because I do want to be able to fully verse myself in NFTs first. Okay, what is this tweet that you made me read? 200 read NFTs are just URLs in the blockchain, and if you delete your media, they'll just forever redirect you to nothing. No actual content is stored in NFTs. They're just super expensive hyperlinks. We pretend to have stuff inside. Oh. Well, that sounds dangerous. So be careful, because right now, even people on the NFT craze are saying that there's likely going to be a bubble before there's actual sustainable growth, just like Bitcoin, actually, if you think about it. But at the end of the day, Bitcoin is not like anything else, because every time it moons, every time it has like a small squeeze, it ends up going back down and pretty much like many 100% higher than it originally was. So Bitcoin has constantly been up. And if you have not gotten your $250 of free Bitcoin, you don't want it to miss out before it reaches another new height. 250,000 Bitcoin, 500,000 Bitcoin very soon, very likely. So make sure to get your $250 of free Bitcoin with the BlockFi link down below. I've already made, without even buying any Bitcoin, I just keep my money in, actually, you know what? I'm going to add another, do I have enough money to add another 5 grand into BlockFi? Because I'll do it with you guys right now. Let me see. Scooter McDuder says, dude, I would absolutely volunteer to DM a game for the Holdoman if you wanted to do that. Scooter McDuder, you are a DM? We have to chat. Text me something, because I want to talk to you. I'm verifying my device. RWBYF, okay, you're coming up on deck. Red, white, bloom. Oh, I don't have enough money. So I only have enough money to put in 4,500. That's not really a good idea. Well, I'll just put in 4,000 today. Should I? I'll put 2,000 in. So you log in. BlockFi. Bless you.
Thank you.
After this, we're going to talk about the BlackRock bag holder story. Just a second. Okay, so what are we looking at here? Can I show this information without doxing myself? Hopefully. So we have here, right? I put in $15,000 of crypto here, right? And I have not bought any Bitcoin yet. Right, so you have seen, this is just like a week's worth of accrued interest. $52 already. So $52 of doing basically absolutely nothing. And now I'm going to add more. I'm going to add more. So if you guys notice, this this allows you to buy cryptocurrencies, but there is no actual reason to do so. You can just keep it in stablecoin, and you can make your $50 of free just from a week of sitting in my account. Any bank account, you probably know, $15,000 does not command a $52 amount of interest. Like that would be insane. So there you go. 8.6%, really, really good. I'm gonna add another 2 grand right now. You know what? Heck, I'll just add 4,500. I just have to remember not to forget that. So here, deposit as ACH, right? There's a $5,000 maximum every single day. So I'm gonna put 4,500 in there, and then I'm going to press review and confirm, and then you authorize BlockFi to do blah, 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 confirm. There we go, done. So you just put money in there, you get interest, it's free money. It's the best bank account you can possibly have. Can you explain why BlockFi is better than WeBull for Bitcoin? WeBull does not let you keep your Bitcoin. That's the funny part of WeBull, is that WeBull uses contract for differencing, right? So in essence, they don't. Almost every app uses contract for differencing for crypto, as in they pretend like they hear that you bought some crypto, and they just move your funds around based on how much difference they owe you if crypto goes up or down. Right, so that's why you can buy partial pieces of crypto. It's because you don't actually own it. It's because they're just pretending like you do and giving you the difference based on how the price fluctuates. So that's the thing about WeBull. And also, WeBull does not pay you any interest. Did you notice how I just made $50 free for almost no reason? You guys can as well. There you go. Am I holding any ARK ETFs? Why or why not? ETFs just makes it like... It feels a little vanilla for me. I'm heavily invested in stocks, in tech stocks though, but I want to choose which tech stocks. I don't want Kathy Griffin to choose for me. Not anything against her, but just like in general, ETFs is kind of like having someone else do your research, which you should always do yourself, right? I'm not entirely against every ETF, but personally for me, I haven't yet vested. If I read some compelling research on why I should, then yes, I would be into it. Joanne says, I'm a huge fan of the streams. I'm too addicted. Haha. Yes, Joe, I'm very happy to hear that. Let's see. Hey, Andrew, can you go over Elliott wave theory on the SPY to attempt to predict another pullback when we can buy stocks at a discount? Thanks, dude. Let me see if I can pull up the SPY. Well, actually, I have to do red, white, bloom first, and then I will. And then I'm going to do the story on, hold on, what time is it? Oh, 10:06. Uh-oh, I'm late for a meeting. Life is so hard. Hold on, let me see if I'm actually late for a meeting. I don't think this is the right account. Maybe it's this one. Okay. I think this meeting got switched. So if you had a meeting with me today, sorry. Hopefully I didn't miss us. Okay. I want to shout out a couple of the new patrons, and then we're gonna get into Red, White, Bloom. I want to shout out Nikolai Georgiev. Thank you so much. We're going to shout out Elliot Liu for editing their pledge. We got Trevor and Julia Poog Asher, and then Lee Martin. And of course, Reese Beats. I'm sure you're watching right now. Thank you guys for supporting the show. If you guys don't see your face on this list quite yet, you will be there soon. It takes me forever to update this every time. I have to make sure like if people have to be updated or have to be added. But I really recommend joining the officer ranks of the Moon Platoon. You get to see your name down here, and it's just a really fun way to support the show. All right, back to it. So Red, White, Bloom, and then I'm going to cover Red, White, Bloom first, and then I'm going to cover the bag holders. Mayor's Madness says, where do I get $250 of Bitcoin? You get it after you deposit a certain amount of money in your account. Let's see, BlockFi. The link is where's the link for BlockFi? Okay, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm going to those of you who are asking about BlockFi, I'm going to pin it now. So there is BlockFi. Free Bitcoin. There it is. What other place is gonna give you free Bitcoin? None I have heard. Hector, roommate Hector is gonna go on his anniversary. Have a good day. Bye.
Bye.
Shaz says, use your BlockFi link a few weeks ago. Yes, it depends on when you have 30 days after. It depends on how much money you put in. Then it'll be up to $250 of free Bitcoin. And remember, I didn't even, I got $50 of free interest, and that's the most important part. What? Andrew, it's my meeting. We can reschedule. Oh no, it's Og. I'm so sorry. It's Og. Here. It's Og. Send me an email at Andrew Mo Business. I'm trying out this brand new service, and it doesn't notify me in time about when these meetings should happen. So big apologies from my side. BlockFi signups are currently disabled. Let me check in this. No, it works for me. That would be weird. Let's see. So what are we talking about here? So we're gonna go over RWBYF, white bloom, and then we're gonna cover the BlackRock bag holder story. How much time have I done here already? 2 hours. Okay. Red, white, bloom. We're looking at, oh, not a lot of history. So September 25th, 2020 is when WeBull starts tracking the price, likely when ISO IPO'd. It is trending down to this solid. Now this is a beautiful pattern that we like to see. That is 3 touch points of 2 major dips and a previously contested resistance. So this is a resistance turning into a solid level of support. It's basically like saying this is the hard floor. It was something would have to go crazy for us to reach this floor. We like to see that. That is exactly what we are able to say, hey, we're not going to be able to go any further than this in the near term. So $1.25 with a hard floor at basically $1.01. That is a 25% risk, right? But we are looking at the end of a corrective wave, I'm imagining. So we could see that this has a 35-cent reward. So that's roughly like a 30% reward to a 25% risk. That is pretty middling, I would say. There's not that much compared to like Rolls-Royce, which we saw before, right? Like Rolls-Royce isn't going any lower, and that's almost a guarantee. So that's the issue here. This may be a hard floor, but it still could reach all the way down there before it reaches back up to this height. I would say I would wait until this resistance gets tested again before making some strong moves in RWBYF. Now that said, I didn't read any of the news yet, so I'm going to read some, and I can't find any. Okay, there you go. DC says, Andrew, want to get BlockFi, but I'm not sure about the app. Reviews aren't the best. What do you like the most about BlockFi other than the free BTC? The fact that you get 8.6% interest is like keeping it in a savings account. So if you have a savings account right now with like a couple $1,000s in it, what are you doing? Gaining like 0.1% interest, maybe up to like 0.5%, 1% at most. There's no chance that you're going to get 8.6% interest, right? So with $15,000, I've already gotten $50 in like a week and a half. So what is that? Let's do that math. 15 grand divided by 50, actually it's 50 divided by 15 grand. 50 divided by 15 grand. That is 0.003. So that number multiplied by how many more weeks? 50? 52? 17%. So it's already been 2 weeks. So that is 17% interest if I got the $50 in just a week. I think I've been in BlockFi for 2 weeks now, which means that I just got 8.6%, almost exactly. That is the say 17% right there. So this is almost exactly 2 weeks since I've deposited $15,000 and I've gotten $50. This is the perfect savings account, right? So there you go. Even if you don't want to buy a single fraction, a single iota of Bitcoin, like you're missing out if you are not thinking about it. It's all, I'm going to try and move us to, oh boy. Yeah, it's all, just send me an email and then I will try to move us to like 11:30 p.m. today. Whoa. Aw. Oh, this is cute. Len Dalling says, good morning, Andrew. Make your bank account look like a phone number. Love your show. I'm a happy Canadian up here in Vancouver. They just started a garage door business. Okay, so I don't do this very often, but you know, this is a very cute one. If you guys are in somewhere around here in California, go ahead. It's 604-259-2534, around town garage doors. Boom. If you have some small businesses and you're a Mo Monkey, go ahead and shout it out. And there you go. Supporting the community here. Oh, Canadian, sorry. Canada. My bad. Vancouver. If you live in Vancouver, this is the garage door services for you. Shouted you out. I have almost no brain. Okay. Caution to the wind. You get your BTC in 30 days. Boop, 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 boop. Okay, so I think we're almost done. Does BlockFi allow purchase of Dogecoin, says Joe H. As of right now, I think they're working on it, but I don't think they do. Unless someone can correct me. Let me just check. Show more. What can I buy? Trade. So I can buy Bitcoin. Hold on. They also do loans. I don't think so. Pretty sure they can't do Dogecoin. But once again, Dogecoin is not restricted in the number of Dogecoins that can possibly exist. That's why, personally, I love the meme. I love the meme, but the technology behind Dogecoin is nothing exceptional. Nick Tapp, love your content. Your chill level is always appreciated. My question, is there a potential use case for GME to sell and resell games via NFTs or another tie-in? Discuss. Probably not. Probably not. Unless some things change about the way NFTs work, because they're supposed to be non-fungible. So that means that everybody will be getting a slightly different game. The technology itself is just the uniqueness of the hyperlink, the uniqueness of like the blockchain linking you to the media source. So technically the media source doesn't have to be custom. So though with my understanding of it so far, yes, you could. However, it wouldn't have any technological like bearing, if you understand, right? You would have to host multiple like copies of the same game in different hyperlinks, and if they all point to the same game, like as in one of these like games like Google Stadia was being held in the exact same place, then what is the point of it being an NFT? It's wishful thinking. It could get a lot of people hype. In my opinion, they're going to have to try a little bit more about exactly what their intention is with that before they could use NFT. Brendan McNamara, BlockFi has a very limited selection of coins, but Bitcoin is one of them, and that's the one I'm bullish on. It's more of a savings long-term investment account than a place to make money trading coin. You still can, but there you go, right? Thank you for asking how WeBull is doing. He's about to be able to start feeling up to his old self. We're probably going to go for a longer walk today, and it's gonna be fun. Love the lo-fi, Andrew. Thank you, Jay Piazza. I appreciate that. Does anybody know if you start working for an investment bank, you can't day trade? Anthony Sosa. I believe that is true. I believe that is true. I believe that you can't trade on certain assets because you'll have insider information about it. Boop, 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 boop. Thanks for your answers for all. You're welcome, Joe. Appreciate it. Hey, brother, what's up, O2? NFT is like you have a key to a digital room on the blockchain that your media is in. Yeah, that's a really good way to describe it, actually. Rob J, you got it. That's exactly right. Rock and Roller Trading says, best regards from Germany. Dankeschön. Great content, my friend. I appreciate that. Trey doesn't own any GME. That's not sus. He's just not bullish on GME. However, he does own one share of GME. There you go. So I'm bullish on both, right? Some people are only bullish on one or the other. It's their preference, right? It's not because they don't support it. It's because they just they've done more research on one than the other. Okay, so BlackRock Bag Holders Inc. I do want to be able to cover this before life gets too crazy. It's Og. I do want you to email me. So sorry for missing our time this morning. I was trying to reschedule it, but I realized I didn't have the power to. So I think I'm going to take that link off of my app until I figure it out a little bit more. Does the interest percent change on BlockFi? Not that I'm aware of. It's different for different cryptocurrencies though. So there you go. Let's see. Andrew, what do you think about airline stocks? What's the deal with airline stocks? Airline stocks is likely going to have a major resurgence. It depends on when. Right? Personally, I think I'm going to go on a vacation as soon as I get vaccinated. So that's where my head is at. I'm assuming a lot of people are also in the same boat. Po2WTM, I'm here to enjoy your podcast. It is a deluxe. Thank you so much. Your comment is also a deluxe to me. Enjoy feeling about the overall outlook of the outlook of next week. The earnings report is very bullish for me. I like it. I think it's going to come out and show just show off. Just be a really good thing for us in general. All right, Black Rock Bag Holders Inc. Mark Schnitzer says, thank you for taking time and energy to put this together. Did you see the DD on AMC stock Reddit spoofing and layering how AMC manipulated this past Friday? We talked about that briefly, but you know what? Let's add that to the chopping block. Appreciate that. You know what? Spoofing and layering. Spoofed and layered. Is this it? This seems like a repost of a different. Okay, fine. It seems like a repost, but we'll take those. Shoot, where is it? Oh, I can use tab. Tab. Ah, yes. How AMC was manipulated this Friday. Yeah, let's do this one first, actually. Spoofing and layering. What is it? Buff 24/7 365 is trying to ask me for financial advice. You guys know I can't do that. I can't give you financial advice. Is it Monday yet? Lol. No, not yet. Okay, so just a second. I'm going to show you guys spoofing and layering how AMC was manipulated this Friday. Show my face real quick. I need a haircut. Or do I? Do I need a haircut? Do you think I should just keep growing it?
Just grow it long.
Just grow it long? Gotcha. I'm gonna wear some glasses. All right, y'all ready for this? You think you know everything. You think that this is the end of the line. You truly don't. I think I'm gonna restart because I'm a little blurry. There we go. All right, bear with me, guys. I'm spoofing. You want to go down the rabbit hole, Mr. Anderson, and see how deep the rabbit hole really goes? That was a spoof. That was a spoof of a famous little movie. I'm not going to tell you which one, but with your own mind, hey, you guys are watching the Andrew Mo Money Show. This is a place where you can learn about stocks and help along with a data scientist that gives you a little bit of context. Speaking of spoofing, I want to be able to fully help you understand exactly how AMC was manipulated this Friday with this excellent DD here. Spoofing and layering how AMC was manipulated this Friday. If you guys find some use or some enlightenment out of this and you want to take the red pill and see how deep this rabbit hole really goes, then you're going to want to smash that like button to help other apes find this video, as well as that subscribe button and that bell button. And now that all three things are done, let's get started. Disclaimer, this is not financial advice. Everything disclosed in this post was done by this person with public information. I come to my conclusions, as should you. Yes. I'm going to look at Louise and Admiral Morgan's supers in just a second. Switch this to GME real quick. Actually, I switch it to AMC because this video is about AMC. So, too long didn't read. Hedge funds were utilizing illegal trading techniques, spoofing and layering to manipulate the stock price of AMC to create a false misinterpretation of the underlying value of the stock and attempting to keep the price point below $14 to prevent it from organically growing to a price point that is unavoidable for a squeeze to happen. What is spoofing and layering? Well, we're going to explain it like I'm 5, baby. Spoofing is an illegal trading technique that utilizes algorithmic trading employed to outpace other market participants and to manipulate markets. You want to see me manipulate GameStop? You want to see me do it again? That's how quick it is. Spoofing is a form of market manipulation where a trader places fake buy or sell orders. Spoofing does this through high frequency trading to add to the order book with no intention of getting filed on one of the sides. This in effect creates a false interpretation of the stock's underlying value through rigged orders, enticing people to believe that the stock was hit its absolute worth of value. It's kind of like when you're playing sports ball, right? One of those sports balls where there's a ball involved, and then you take the sports ball in one direction, and then you try to move it in another direction. Everyone thought you were going to move in this direction, and that is illegal. This is not cool. Imagine purchasing a toy capsule, the capsule being the order and the toy encapsulated in its share. The capsule has packaging completely wrapped around it about the toys, so you assume the toys are in it. Once you purchase the toy capsule and open it, you realize the toy isn't there and was fooled by the packaging. All right. The main intention of spoofing is to manipulate the stock and affect the strength of one side to get filled on the other side of the order book at a price. For example, let's assume BTC has a strong resistance level at 420.69. Nice. Naturally, this is where sellers are expected to place their bids to sell their holdings. If the price gets rejected at a resistance level, it can fall steeply. However, if it breaks out of the resistance, then there's a higher probability of continuation to the upside. If for 2069 is a strong resistance, bots are likely to place spoof orders slightly above it. When buyers see massive sell orders above such an important technical level, they may become less encouraged to aggressively buy into the level. In AMC's case, hedge funds were manipulating the ask price to bait shareholders to sell the stock at $14 and prevent further investors to buy in to show that AMC has hit its limit. In Ooga Booga language, the hedge funds want the apes to believe the banana tree can't grow any more bananas. The 14 bananas are all it could produce. Right? Easy peasy, and there are some more explanations about GME spoofing and spoofing with examples here. Layering is even worse. It's essentially the Chad version of spoofing. Layering is where the trader enters multiple visible orders on one side of the market at multiple price tiers, which causes the midpoint of the spread to move away from the multiple orders, and the same trader executes a trade on the opposite side of the market. Again, this is manipulative because the execution occurs at a more favorable price than the trader was likely to obtain in the absence of the first orders. A good analogy is doing groceries at the supermarket. After going through aisle and aisle, you finalize your basket of goods has a total price of $13.93 based on the given price. Lace. Checkout, the cashier decides to scan their own personalized scanner and conclude that it's actually 2008.01. It seems like I have lost my face, so give me a hot second. Well, this is quite annoying. Okay, there I am. Well, that was annoying. Cool. So, thank you for bearing with us. This is basically what happened to AMC this Friday. The ask price was spread at decisive quantities at decisive price points to match the bid price, causing AMC to idle at $14. In lieu of this, AMC ended up barcoding. All right, both spoofing and layering use algorithmic trading. Algorithmic trading uses a computer program that follows a defined set of instructions to place a trade. It will always outperform humans when trading due to its raw computational speed. There are many types of algorithm trading that can be utilized to fit a certain situation. In hedge funds case, the mean reversion was implemented. The mean reversion strategy is based on the concept that the high and low prices of an asset are a temporary phenomenon that reverts to their mean value periodically. Identifying and defining a price range and implementing an algorithm based on it allows trades to be placed automatically when the price of an asset breaks in and out of its defined range. The downside of spoofing. Spoofing can become riskier when there is a higher probability of unexpected market movements. For instance, let's assume a trader wants to spoof sell a resistance level. If there's a strong rally taking place and the FOMO among retail traders sell a resistance level, FOMO among retail traders suddenly drives massive volatility. The spoof orders can quickly fill. This is essentially what happened with AMC when a huge buy order filled the fake orders faster than it could be filled again. This is obviously not ideal for the spoofer as they didn't intend to enter the position. Similarly, a short squeeze or a flash crash can fill even a large order within seconds. Essentially, all of these capsules of toys that are not supposed to be filled with toys, right? they're just spoofs. They could accidentally be filled with a large rise in one direction or another. And unfortunately, AMC experienced a flash crash, a very rapid, deep, and volatile fall in stock price occurring within a very short time period, right when spoofing was removed. If you think spoofing into a flash crash isn't deliberate, you don't know what the Navinder Singh Sarao is, a British self-taught trader who caused the US 2010 flash crash. Wow, that is a title to bring home. And this is the flash crash using WeBull. Yes, that's right. This person uses WeBull as well. You can grab your WeBull in the description down below using the link that says quit Robinhood. Behind the scenes of the $14 mirage. If you prefer watching the video rather than reading the analysis, you can watch this enraged Chad, 171K confirmed kills military monkey who invested 36,000 bananas, shouts injustice as he embraces his inner primal instinct. I love you, Trey. Thank you, Trey, for bringing that anger out in front of us. From Trey's quadruple witching day stream, timestamp on this first frame, the current stock price is $13.99 and the corresponding ask price wall size is 196. Now pay attention to how inhumanly fast it gets refilled compared to the other ask prices. When the wall size drops to 100, it instantly gets refilled to 3,700, an increase of 3,600. When the wall size gets dropped to 100 again, it instantly refills to 1,800, and when it was alternating between 100 and 200, it instantly gets filled from 5,000 from 200. This is spoofing in practicality. Keep in mind, these are all artificially created orders, meaning the orders are fake and synthetic. Okay. Once AMC broke through the $14 wall with that gorilla chewing buy order, notice how organically distributed the order book was compared to the order book in between $13.90 and $14. The reason behind this is the algorithm trading doesn't work once AMC was above $14 because the mean reversion wasn't operated to function at $14.01. Its maximum limit within the inputted range was $14. And then finally, this is where the layering was utilized after the huge volume spike. AMC was finally able to stop barcoding and spike to $14.10 to guarantee that AMC couldn't organically rise any further and pummel it down to $14. Hedge funds deployed layering. Look at the ask price on the order book compared to when AMC passed $14 legally. The ask price suddenly increased to 1,000 spontaneously. What's even worse is that multiple ask prices sizes have increased to thousands at an instantaneous rate. And funny enough, just imagine, look, it's basically a hard wall at $14. Just imagine that they never would have gotten away with this if they didn't show their cards and were running out of options. Now we have finally learned spoofing and layering, as well as the short wall that Trey was talking about on the show back on Friday during after hours. You never would have learned this if they didn't have to use it. Conclusion. Oh, hold on, one more. This graph specifically calculated based on short transactions at a precise location. Let's take a look. Each small dot represents 500 shorts transactions minimum. A bigger dot means that a bigger number of shorts transactions. Multiple dots at a particular time frame means multiple short transactions are executed at different price points. And if the dots are somehow overlapping with each other, that means the price points are done within a decimal or smaller. Pay close attention to the price point at $14 where the dots overlapped and are blob size, right here and right here. The majority of the short transactions were executed always within $13.99 to $14 until AMC broke $14, and it did. A huge short transaction was executed to prevent it from rising further on. Notice how it's replicant of AMC's actual graph. Conclusion. So once again, that data, gotta shake it off because I love math so much. Gotta love that data visualized to a T. Expect more spoofing and layering instead of short ladder attacks. A short ladder attack requires a vast amount of short positions and is a one-turn move. On the other hand, spoofing and layering usually can be executed based on decisive amounts that last at a longer time span, increasing efficiency and optimization. Think of short ladder attacks as a nuke and spoofing and layering as a Fort Knox prison. A nuke obliterates any matter at a large scale and is unavoidable within its range, while Alcatraz, albeit being the tightest security, is still escapable given considerable time and effort. To connect that analogy to the point, hedge funds are probably starting to use spoofing and layering more frequently as they have realized that short ladder attacks not something that they are running out or they cannot make it happen more sustainably. Hedge funds can't constantly rely on short ladder attacks anymore, since it has become more and more apparent. As an act repeated becomes a habit, and a habit repeated becomes a routine. Short ladder attacks are becoming more of a habit, and it's already been 5+ months. Can you imagine just fighting through this war here? Hedge funds can't safely guarantee the price will continuously drop after a short ladder attack due to two factors. One, smooth-brained apes that haven't joined the fray will just see as opportunities to buy low and sell high. Brains are on point here, causing the price back to go where it was pre-shorted price and hodl until the moon. Two, smart money apes, or apes with more than 0.01 wrinkles, will realize that AMC was and has always been a legitimate company. And if people do start investing, AMC will grow organically to a price point that hedge funds can no longer prevent it from squeezing. Excuse me. This is definitely possible since the world is recovering from the COVID-19 pandemic, with the recent news most notably reopening 98% of its locations beginning March 19th. AMC is forecasting to have a bright outlook. Other news such as Fidelity purchasing 556,000 shares and Zacks recommendations will ensure to bring attention to investors that AMC can be a long-term investment candidate. I know a lot of you are here to look for GME specific research. However, AMC is a solid stock that exists in a different population of people, and we can support both brothers at the same time. AMC has the potential to both squeeze and is a long-term investment. Due to these factors, I theorize that the hedge funds have decided to devise a devious plan to create a narrative that AMC is at its peak value, dismissing its probability to squeeze to prevent further organic growth to a price point that will cause the squeeze to squoze. So what are you guys imagining? Because first of all, I am vested in both of these stocks, roughly about a couple hundred or so shares in AMC and like 40-50 shares in GME. One of the first things I want you to note is that I'm not trying to tell you how to buy, sell, hodl, or anything of that sort. I'm trying to tell you to make your own decisions, choose your own research, and build out that path to financial education. So, spoofing and layering. If you learn something brand new, go ahead, drop that like button so that other apes like you can learn about spoofing and layering, so that we are ready for the tactics that the hedge funds are already working on, trying to bring down the price of both GME and AMC. As you guys saw, GME is also a victim to this kind of attacks. And finally, if you guys haven't yet tried to join the Moon Platoon, it's really fun. These people have joined the officer ranks of the Moon Platoon by pressing the join button next to the subscribe button, or going down to the description and checking out the Patreon link. I really appreciate everybody here, especially those of you who have just pressed that subscribe button, like you, moving your mouse to the subscribe button right now and pressing that bell button too. And as always, for now, but not for forever, I'll see you in space. Okay, sweet. Oh boy, so someone wants me to look at Mogo. Sorry for the wait. Luis Cinquanto. Admiral Morgan, are you going to cut the WeBull setup from the live stream and post it as a standalone video? Also, Meatball is such a good boy. Now, the WeBull setup is makes it like a little bit more like we're looking at the indicators very importantly. Also, it shows that this AMC trend up here is something that I want to be able to be part of the channel so that everyone can still keep their eyes on those indicators. What else is happening? Did I get my wife's boyfriend's email? That depends. What's your wife's boyfriend's name? I'll check my email. 2,500 of you. 2,500 of you and 1,000 some likes. That does not make sense. That does not make sense. You guys gotta smash that like button right now. Ryan Zool, love the channel. Can you make a video about Vizio IPO, public date March 25th? Would love to know what is your thought. All the data is on Webull. Thanks. Weekend Streams found something else to do other. Awesome. Vizio IPO, sure. I can do a little bit of digging, especially since that IPO. First thing is that buying stocks on IPO day, very dangerous. So that's why something you should be cautious about. Paburo said, been sending you super chats through VPN from Puerto Rico. Cool. I wonder if the squeeze does not occur due to GME call, what's the next trigger? Well, the next trigger is the end of the month, right? The 26th is when the SEC regulator said that this is when not only when 1 month is over, but also the quarter is over. So she specifically said that there's likely not going to be a lot of movement in February. She was not wrong. And then she went off and said basically explicitly that the end of the month in March is the date to look at. Brandon Burns says, thanks for sharing. Anger, V measured response, fine young man. Did you get my wife's boyfriend's email? I'm gonna go have to check my email to check which email we were talking about. Oh, thank you. Okay. Doodaloo, doodaloo, doodaloo. Doodaloo, doodaloo, doodaloo. Oh, thank you so much. Ryan Zool, I just covered your super chat. I will go check out the Vizio IPO. If anybody else, I'm trying to look at my viewer activity, but I can't see my other supers. So if I missed your super, let me know. Vernon Jeffers, thank you so much for pressing that join button and joining the Meatball Army. I appreciate it. Let's go. Oh, here we go. Now I can see all my supers. Brendan Burns, Paburo, Nasha, just sending some supers. No message. Awesome. I appreciate that. Ramalite says, do you think AMC will moon by January? Oh, sorry. Wait, what is that? January of 2023? Yes. I'm expecting it to be sooner than 2 years from now. Brendan Burns says, oh my days, your email is that full? LOL and few NTP. I'm going to send a special guest over then. You're going to be rather excited. Uh-oh. Who is the special guest? Auntie B, please let me know. Okay, so Mogo is next. And then, can you make a video about Vizio IPO? Yes, I will look into that. Ryan, thank you for the super. And Mogo is on deck. Switch that real quick. Did the Mogo request man still in the chat? Thank you for your patience. Okay. This interface is really just really hard. Is that my mom with the coffee? Right, remember guys, at 65,000 subs, I will be revealing my mom. This is canon. How many subs? Oh, we only have 700 subs away, guys, from 65,000. As a reminder, at 65,000 was where we were supposed to buy $14,000 of GME from Avoxier. He paid it forward because he was sure that we were going to get to 65,000 this weekend. And with this live stream is our last chance to get there. So smash that smash that subscribe button because you really do want to be able to start investing in yourself. And with 65,000 subs, I will be revealing my mom. If you guys aren't in that inside joke, sorry about that. Mom?
You get 60, what do I get?
All right, so you don't get anything. You're not. You know what? The mom reveal is canceled. No, we're not gonna show my mom anymore. Mogo. So Mogo is here with a. Let's see. Let's give it back a little bit more. Okay, so $2.19. This is a hard floor. Oh man, it got all the way down to 60 cents. Mogo got pummeled back when. Oh, it's just. Oh, okay, so the 2019. Okay, that's fine. So it had a breakout from 60 cents all the way upwards. This is just a non-stop impulse wave all the way upwards of $4. That is just like a couple 1,000% up, a couple 100% up at least. This was a hard ceiling for it. It was rejected multiple times at $5.45. Seems like that ends up being one of the supports later on, so that's actually really strong. We want to point that out here. And then Ramalite says, I'm thinking about 123 $40 call options of AMC. Contract is $400. That's steep. Guys, remember, try not to reveal your positions. It's not super great. It's not good. Even in Congress, they were talking about do not reveal your positions because it gives the hedgies a little bit more information. Be good to my mommy. My mom is in Chicago, guys. I live in California. My mom does not live here. I am very nice to my mom. So $12.37 is this height. It's been tested this resistance twice now, almost 3 times. So one of the things I wanted to notice here is that there is a doubling up on this resistance here, and then doubling up on this support down here. So right between $5 and $12 is a perfect, just textbook George W. The reason why this is just part of the psychology of the stock is because it tested the same support twice. That's because that people are not willing to allow it to drop below this level at around $5.70. Now, unfortunately, right now, it is currently anyone's game whether it's going to be able to push out of this $12 and change resistance that it was rejected from earlier on Friday, maybe during after hours. So one of the first things I will say is go ahead and wait for what Monday will bring. That's one of the first things that you'll notice is Monday will likely be able to show you that if this is going to be continuing on as part of the impulse wave, or if the impulse wave is going to be over and move into the corrective wave. If that does happen, it likely will drop back down to this level, in which case this is a very attractive entry price. If you are looking to enter, I would likely want to wait until at least this subwave, at least at $7.84. Personally, I would want to coming on the way back up and not on the way down. Let's see. My mom just opened a WeBull account. That's nice. My mom also has a WeBull account. If you have your moms and they don't have a WeBull account yet, use the link in the description. Send that to your mom and open them up a WeBull account. Chicken in a bikini outside my window.
Why are you looking?
That's just Meatball. Here you go, Meatball. Gobble, gobble, gobble. Alright, so the only article left today is this BlackRock Bag Holders Inc., which is great because I only have about 15 minutes left. So we're going to cover this, and then I will clip up a couple of these videos, and then I'm going to play some Dungeons and Dragons today. I'm going to play some Dungeons and Dragons, and if your name is Scooter McDooter, whoo! I want to hear about how you DM a little bit more. Don't talk about entry positions. Yeah, but like right now, I can talk about entry positions for the other stocks. Okay, here we go. Brendan Burns says, Pippa Malmgren, former White House aide, leading economist, best-selling author. Dad was Harold Malmgren, was best mates with Richard Feynman, godfather of machine learning. Brendan, if that's a special guest, I would love for him to come on the show. So let me know. I will move my meetings if we can get that person on the show. Does that person want to come on the show like right now? Or do they want to come on the show later? I need to sign into the account that I talked to in 1 sec. dataleadtech@gmail.com. Pharaoh's Gulch Forge says liked and subscribed to the moon. I appreciate it. Salem M says, yo, Andrew, you might have already seen this, but check out AMC's 3-month chart on Robinhood. It says 420.69. 3 months. 1 quarter. Where does it say 420.69? Where does it say 420.69? I'm looking at it. I'm looking at 2 AMCs right now, actually. This one should be GME. All right, show me the 420.69. Okay. Smooth Brain, Brendan Burns. Let me check my email to make sure what's happening there. There it is. Brendan says, Pippa Malmgren. If there's something, I'm gonna sign an NDA. You have no idea. Getting her to bat. She has a Russian psychopath after her. Uh-oh. Oh, shoot. Okay. Well, if they are gonna be in danger for coming on the show, definitely take care of their safety. But if they just, yeah, let me know how we want her to come on the show. Actually, if you can have her join the email chain, that would actually be really helpful. Admiral Morgan says, to clarify, in yesterday's stream, I believe you showed how to set up WeBull with indicators like you have on stream. You're going to post that section and post it as his own video for Smooth Brain. Yes, I have it clipped up already. Yesterday, I accidentally scheduled, you guys might have noticed, I actually accidentally scheduled a video to premiere tomorrow, as in today. So that was my bad. And then it was too late because I already went out to dinner. So therefore, I'm going to have to post extra for today. So you guys are going to watch a bunch of clips, including how to set up your WeBull from the ground up. Mike Marr says, expand, live stream your D&D, collab with Matt Mercer. That would be awesome. I do live stream my D&D sessions usually on Twitch, so twitch.tv, Andrew Momoni. Let's see. Okay. Okay, cool. Brendan, I see your new email. So if you can add that. Okay, first of all, let's read this BlackRock article real quick. 420.69, that's magic. Where? Am I blind? Where is it? Will quintuple Hogwarts Day on April 19th, where the hedgies have to buy back their shorts, make it an ultraviolet squeeze? Yes? Apollo Sneed, thank you for the super. All right, let's get started. This is enough shenanigans. Okay, so BlackRock bag holders. Meatball, did you know that BlackRock is having a falling out with its other hedge fund friends, and you have to hear about it now? That's right, we are in a whole mess of trouble if we do not learn about the BlackRock Bag Holders Inc. Too Long Didn't Read, BlackRock is collaborating with the shadow market, with Citadel and Bridgewater Associates. These three are contributing to the greatest market manipulation of all time, and if you guys want to learn about this, you have to stick until the end and make sure that you have smashed that like button and the subscribe button and the bell button so that you can, one, share with other Moon Platoon Mo Monkey Army members so that have not seen this article yet, and two, making sure that you are investing in yourself and never missing a single live stream. We do it bell to bell, buzzer to buzzer, and we appreciate you guys a lot from joining in. So let's get going. I believe Citadel shorted, hold on a second. The head of the snake Citadel is beginning to flail. They believe that Citadel shorted the majority, if not 100% of BlackRock's GME portfolio, in addition to other highly shorted stocks, leaving BlackRock to hold the bag. Bag holding is the idea that you have somehow gotten a unrealized loss, a bad position that is not yet actualized into reality. And the way that you could do that is, for example, if you're like me, buy in at GME at $250 plus and hold all of February where people are calling us bag holders. And now look at us, right? Feeling pretty solid. Let's switch this to GME real quick. And now let's get solid. Let's get started. Before we get started, you'll understand a lot more of this if I explain a few things. I promise that I won't turn this into an accounting legal lecture, but if you're looking for whales, you need to know how. They'll be referencing a form called the SEC Schedule 13G. This is used by institutional investors like hedge funds when they acquire more than 5% ownership in a company. Likewise, they would have to file a Schedule 13D if they bought 20% or more. Investors usually do this when they want to exert influence over the future operations of a company, right? You want to be able to be a bigger shareholder. You got to fill out some forms, baby. The government has to know. So when a hedge fund buys between 5 to 15% of a company, they usually just milk their attendees and not influence their operations. With me so far, when a qualified institutional investor buys at least 5% of the company, they have to report it in their Schedule 13G within 45 days of year end. The only exception is if they purchase more and it brings their total ownership above 10%. When that happens, they must file for a 13G by the end of the month in which their ownership breached 10%. Quick example, if you guys are still not following, a whale buys 5% of GME in July 2020. They have to file a 13G within 45 days of December 31st, 2020. That is a month and a half, so that's like February 15th. On October 15th, 2020, they buy an additional 5% of GME's outstanding shares. They now own 10% and must file their initial 13G within 10 days of October 31st, 2020. From this point on, any change bought or sold of 5% or more must be reported by the end of that month in which the change was made. Now, buckle up, because I'm about to wrinkle that smooth brain, okay? Let's move down, move down, move down. I've investigated GME's 13Fs from 2020 to find out who the biggest whales are. As discussed above, those owning more than 10% would have to file an amended 13G if they bought or sold more than 5%. This would tell us which whales are still in the fight. Here's what they found. Whales travel in pods. Although they may not communicate together, they think together. It's important to note that most whales will start paper handing parts of their portfolio when a stock isn't performing. It's basic investing. And during 2020, GME wasn't a very attractive buy. Thank God for Roaring Kitty or Deep Effing Value. Some bearish whales include Dimensional Fund Advisors, Vanguard Group, and State Street Corp. Not that they did not buy the dip, but most of their sales occurred evenly throughout the year, which signals a bearish position. Dimension Fund Advisors LP, owners since 2003, Q2, owns about 5% of GME as of Q4. Vanguard owns about 7.5% of GME as of Q4, and State Street Corp owns about 3.5% of GME as of Q4. Add that together, and we have double digits at the very least, right? In contrast, we had another whale pod that definitely bought the dip during 2020, several for the first time. Silverback himself, Ryan Cohen, aggregate shares of 9,001,000, right? If the GME does squeeze, he's going to be the world's first trillionaire. That's big. Maverick Capital Ltd. holds 6.5% ownership. We have Senvest Management holds 7.5%, and Morgan Stanley has 6.5% of GME as of Q4, increase of 100% since Q4 2019. Although these, hold on, let's scroll down. Although these bull whales, and we want to believe that they are trying to force a squeeze, not saying they aren't, the safest assumption is that they realized GameStop was extremely undervalued and wanted to get in while the attendees were frying. Regardless, we can't really tell if they still holding because an amendment 13G is only filed for these guys at year end unless they bought more than 10% of outstanding shares. But I haven't seen a recent amendment for any of them. Anyway, it matters not. Call me Captain Apehab. I'm searching for Moby Dick. One of the biggest GME owners at the end of 2019 was FMR LLC, Fidelity. They owned about 9 million and change. I didn't realize that they transferred 100% of the position into another side of the company. Tricky to cash that. At any rate, this left us with only one chicken on tender, BlackRock Inc. According to the most recent 13F on December 31st, BlackRock had $3 trillion in assets. If you check page 4 of their annual 10K, they listed what is that? Hold on. 1,000 million billion trillion. Quadrillion? Is this 8.5 quadrillion? I can't count. 1,000 million billion trillion. 8 quadrillion. Now Citadel and BlackRock go way back. Several of the BlackRock's employees ended up working in Citadel and vice versa. Check out Navneet Arora, for example. He is the current head of global quantitative strategies at Citadel and previously served as managing director and global head of model-based credit research at BlackRock. Are you ready for this? Whoa. There's an article published by Alpha Cushion in 2019 that explained the shadow relationship between BlackRock, Citadel, and Bridgewater. Long story short, the author weaves the thread between all three firms and shows how their coordinated efforts are rigging the game for big money. BlackRock, the beta, provides trillion-dollar asset bases which are pushed through Bridgewater's, the asymmetric alpha, quantitative management zone. Citadel, the structural alpha, then acts as the market maker through Citadel securities and rigs the market by serving them the most favorable trades using their high-frequency trading platforms. If you haven't read their Citadel Has No Close, please do so. Now that's why this is such a good article, because this is from the last time. We already covered Citadel Has No Close with trades last time. If you guys haven't seen that yet, scroll on past. It's been a couple of videos ago. Want proof? In February 2020, Bloomberg published an article showing how companies... Whoa, hold on a second. Want proof? In February 2020, Bloomberg published an article showing how companies like Citadel, BlackRock, and Royal Bank of Canada, former CEO of Royal Bank is now on the board of BlackRock, were able to shut down a proposal by the CBOE, which tried to implement a 4-millisecond delay in the EDGA exchange. It would take a huge advantage out of Citadel's high-frequency platform and presented a systemic risk to the secretive three-way affair. If you guys remember all of our talks, especially on the congressional floor about payment for order flow, that is a huge delay compared to just how many milliseconds it takes for these HFTs to essentially ruin your day. So guess who's shut down the proposal? The SEC. Citadel Securities, BlackRock win battle over stock speed bump. Makes me sick to watch a House committee meeting where the SEC shills just shrug their shoulders and say, we'll get to the bottom of these matters, like you don't know about it. Anyway, BlackRock, Bridgewater, and Citadel are basically best friends. BlackRock cooks and serves the attendees, Bridgewater packages the order for the customer, and Citadel provides coupons at the register. Now, how does this tie back into GME? Let's review. Number one, BlackRock is the Moby Dick of GameStop, and brick and mortar stores weren't doing too well in 2020. Number two, throughout the year, they liquidated almost 20% of their GME position. Liquidate means they exited their positions and sold. So Q1 balance of 11 million shares and Q4 balance of 2 million shares. So they just, boom, got rid of it. Citadel and friends decided to short 140% of GameStop by borrowing shares from asset managers like BlackRock. Gabe Plotkin even admitted to doing this with asset funds like BlackRock during the first committee meeting, and Bloomberg wrote an article about it. We got I think this is the same Bloomberg article we saw earlier. When stocks aren't performing well, asset managers like BlackRock will make money by charging a high interest rate on lending shares for highly shorted stocks. And number five, Citadel Securities pockets the proceeds from selling the short shares and never plans on repurchasing them after GameStop goes bankrupt. Number six, BlackRock makes money on the high interest rates, and they would on the sale on their declining GME shares, and everyone gets a good old-fashioned, reach around before sleeping soundly at night. The only problem is that Ryan Cohen stepped in to challenge Moby Dick, whether intentionally or not. Ryan more than likely prevented the entire collapse of GameStop when he purchased his shares. He is our founder and savior right now. In addition to pulling his purchase guaranteed that 9 million shares would not be sold through paper handed, right? He just basically said, you guys are getting not enough scissors in the chat. We are just going to do it myself, do it live, right? So there are people saying, but BlackRock has way more money than Citadel. Surely they'll be fine. Wrong. BlackRock is not an investment bank. They manage assets. Their primary business is to network and gather large amounts of money, then package it with various investment vehicles. Their total revenue for 2020 was $16,000 trillion. And while this sounds impressive, it's peanuts compared to the $8 trillion in assets on their balance sheets. Wait, hold on. 1,000 million billion trillion. Okay. In fact, the actual net income attributable to BlackRock was less than 1,000 million billion $5 trillion with a B. Hello? This is billion? 1,000 million. Oh, trillion. I can't count. My bad. 5 billion with a B. So this is where it leads us now. Citadel hemorrhaging funds like there's no tomorrow. In addition to all of this, they just issued $600 million in a 5-year bond. So you guys remember we covered that earlier. For a company that manages $384 billion in assets, this seems ridiculous. It's more likely that the head of a snake is choking on its own venom, and BlackRock could cease to have a dominant market maker for that $3 trillion asset fund. It's literally poetic justice. The turbulence between BlackRock and Citadel can only end poorly for them. BlackRock built a supply chain relationship with Citadel, and Citadel obviously needs an asset manager. Don't believe me? 76.7% of Citadel's portfolio are derivatives, bets on the outcomes of markets. Less than 25% are actual physical shares. You imagine a car without gas, running a marathon without eating, landing on the moon without tendies. Of course, BlackRock will cash in a moonshot when they receive their shares, but it will cripple their biggest market maker in return. Speaking of which, they have owned shares in BlackRock since Q3 of 2008. For those who don't know, they have a 1.52 put to call ratio, is an extremely high put ratio, and they had a large put ratio on BlackRock for quite a while. Want to know what you get out of it? You get the ice cream and the hot fudge and the banana and the nuts. Right now I get the sprinkles, and yeah, if it goes through, I get the cherry. But you get the sundae, Vinny. You get the sundae from The Big Short. Unfortunately, BlackRock never got their tennies and are probably pissed that their business partner didn't handle their end of the deal. Even though GME was a small portion of their portfolio, it was declining in value, not to mention all of the other assets that they lent as highly shorted stocks. They made a few bucks on the high loan percent, but wasn't for long. Now the table is set. Citadel is gasping for air. BlackRock is the risk of losing a major partnership with a dominant market maker, and the DTCC just started ringing the dinner bell. I hear the Wellerman calling. Well, despite the fact that it seems like I am having trouble reading, I am trying to rush to a meeting right now. I appreciate you guys staying all the way into the end, smashing that like button, and making sure that you've hit that subscribe button. This is the end of this video as well as the live stream. So I will see you guys on Monday bright and early. Watch a couple of the clips that get clipped here, as well as making sure that you are taking fact that these people are the supporters of the show, the officers of the Moon Platoon, and I appreciate them so much. You can join them by hitting that join button next to the subscribe button, which all of you have already pressed, and going down to Patreon as well. For now, but not for forever, I hope you